Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another Q&A Thursday, where we're your hosts, Dane Anthony, that's me, and to my right, Anthony Fisher.
Hello, and welcome, everybody, to Q&A Thursday, where we also have somebody in the background.
We got a
Miss
friend.
Sydney Gwynn, going in the back, about to wash her car. We're doing a hangout session today, right? Yeah. Q&A with a wash.
We call it Q&A Plus.
Q&A Plus. Do you guys like this?
No subscription needed, though. Well, actually, that's not true. You got to subscribe to the Rag Company channel. Yes. Okay, got him.
But we're going to be leading the charge here with answering questions here up front, and then Sydney's going to be knocking out a wash on her Jeep in the back.
So dirty.
How's it look, Sid?
Oh, it's probably the dirtiest it's ever been.
You always say that.
And it does make me laugh because on camera it doesn't look that dirty. And so I totally see why people say, like, when are you guys going to
They
wash
think
a
every
dirty
car is clean.
Like, this car is so dirty.
No, it's actually filthy. I commented how filthy it was. Yeah. And, I don't want to shame anybody, but no, Sydney knows this thing.
It's never been this dirty.
Sooner or later, we're going to get Jimmy to walk up close to this thing and look at it, and he is really going to show you it is truly dirty.
But what we're trying to do is really give you guys some variety here. So, right, we like to answer your questions. We want to be able to do that, but in the background, we also want to give you just some, just some satisfying
It's good
washing
vibes
content.
while answering your questions. So you can have a little bit of enjoyment watching a wash process, but you still get our full undivided attention answering your questions. And hey, if you got a question for Sydney, that's totally cool. She can totally walk up and answer. She's got a lab mic on. We're all good. We're ready to go.
So a little bit of housekeeping. This week at theragcompany.com, we can go ahead and pull up the website. We are currently running a sale on glass towels. Ooh. So 20% off glass towels, which does include the FTW, which if you know, you know, it's definitely more the glass towel. So offer ends here in just about a little over a day. So the 20% off ends going to be a day and 9 hours is what we have left. And if you signed up with the Rag Company newsletter, then you'll know that you were the first to know when this sale actually launched. So scrolling down here, you'll see that we've got the premium glass and window towel. We have the premium FTW. We have the Dry Mirror River. We also have the Diamond Weave glass towels, the Standard Weave glass towels, Ultra Rip and Rag XLs, because, why the heck not, right? Absolutely. And then scroll down a little bit further from there. Actually, that's everything. So 20% off everything you see here at theragcompany.com. Hit that free shipping mark, a little over 100 and I think we're at 150 free shipping. Free shipping, something up at the top. I don't know. I'm waiting for that banner to rotate. Top of my head. Anyway, so
you got it.
Free shipping, orders 100 plus. We'll get you the exact number soon. But all in all, just a killer sale. I hope you guys pick up some glass towels, especially some FTWs. Now, besides that, here at TRC, we have been catching up on a lot of content, and then we have been announcing the new Grand Ambassadors. So the new Grand Ambassadors are up and running, and then me and Carson actually had the calls with all 6 of them this week. And
Carson was doing a great job, by the way. I heard him talking. And he sounded a little bit like you. Like, are you turning him into a mini Anthony? Is that what's going on?
I would never.
No?
I would never, although it does make me proud, the thought of that.
Oh.
No, Carson's had a few calls. I've had a few calls. And we've got a really good batch of people here coming into this first trimester. And so I'm really excited to see what these guys do. And then here pretty shortly, here soon, within the next couple of weeks, we'll be announcing the 2024 Grand Ambassador of the Year, as well as the runner-ups. And I'm really excited for that as well. So that's kind of been what's new. Dane, what's new for you?
Oh, right. Hasn't been a great week.
I wasn't really trying to ask about that, but it's hard. Dane,
it's hard.
Your pup, your pride and joy, Callie, 15 years.
Yeah.
15 freaking years, Dane. That's amazing. And so
she was a great Pyrenees.
She really was. She was the greatest Pyrenees. And so, Dane, I'm sad for you, man. But I know it will get easier. It will get better. And losing a dog.
She was my first dog, so it meant a lot.
Dude, losing a dog is super tough. I 100% get it. So,
and I don't want to put a bummer on everybody's day. It's just when he asked that, I couldn't not think of it. So apologies.
That's okay.
I want to be a professional here.
Anything you're excited about? Anything that you personally are excited about? Is there any upcoming trips that you're looking forward to?
I am very excited for our upcoming trip to Florida to see our good friends, not only Matt over at the Cess Garage, wow, I can't talk today, and Freddie. Of course, you might know him better as Tavarish if you watch car YouTube channels, but they're so much fun. They really are. Just so much fun. And I'm always excited to see the garage. Cool cars, variety. I like that he likes like weird cars too, so it does make for a pretty fun, especially the stories they tell. So anyway, we're going to be getting a boatload of content when you, me, Jimmy, and my brother, who's being treated as like mini Dane, is going to help talk shop with them too. Like he's the science and the brains and stuff, so he can talk, you know, the heavy, difficult stuff that I don't want to think about because math. But anyway, interesting things yet to come. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's about building relationships and having fun, but also creating content that people actually want to watch. And I feel like every time we do this trip, we get something awesome, and we get like 6 months of stuff out of it. So
we really do. It's a really fun time. We're looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to the 6.5 hour flight, but you know, that's the beautiful part about us flying. They get us to Seattle, and then Seattle, now the world is our oyster. We can go anywhere, right? Yeah. And Seattle to Orlando, that is just a direct
you cross the entire country.
Across the entire continental, U.S., but that's all right. So anyway, we're going to start jumping into these questions. You're going to have to let us know, is the pressure washer sound, are you picking that up at all? Is it distracting? We kind of talked about maybe doing a rinseless instead.
For real.
I didn't realize that actually is quite loud.
It's all right, though. As long as it's not a problem for them, I can totally hear what's going on. I'm good. So I hope you guys at home aren't too distracted. But that's the fun of combining these things together. And we just want you guys to have a good time, because we have a good time when you have a good time. Yeah. Anyway, get into these comments. First in Puerto Rico. Actually, first today. I have to give him credit. He's been busy, but he hasn't been popping first in our chat much lately, so I wanted to make sure and acknowledge, yes, Umberto, we saw you. Then we got Hans Closen, of course, popping in. It's like, hello, happy belated Watch Wednesday. We did a Watch Wednesday yesterday. I'm sure everybody's aware of that. Like, we actually did the whole thing. So when you're done with this, you should go check that out. Then I've got, whoa, what just happened? A huge jump over, juice free, always asking for that apron, as always. Maybe one day it'll happen. Just keep asking, Juice. It can't hurt.
I would say we're working on it, but that would be a lie. Currently, we have a lot of other things going on.
Way to give them hope.
So drop your detailed comments. This is from the Rag Company, and then
that's just telling people what to do. All right. Then we got some hellos, of course, from Tamara. Hello, everyone. I'm not missing this time. Thank you, Tamara. I'm glad that you're not late.
Lucas is not here, Tamara.
No, Lucas was yesterday.
Today was yesterday. I know you missed out on old Lukey boy. So Sheepstar says just checking in here.
Glad you're doing
Sheepstar, is he our new
he's
Simon
doing things.
Birch?
He's got Sheepstar's got a YouTube channel, and he's like actually he's producing stuff. Okay. So shout out Sheep for doing that stuff.
I have not checked out Sheepstar.
I just feel like I catch these things on the periphery.
What's he shooting? What kind of content is it?
I'm just learning, but it's like product review stuff is what I've seen. So just throwing that out there. Anyway, go check it out.
Okay.
Have fun with that. We always want to support small creators and stuff. So definitely shout out to that.
Sydney, you just laid down a little bit of decon soap, right?
Yes.
How'd it go?
Well, so I think this is super interesting. So a couple observations, because I've never used this before. So my car was super dirty, and my wheels and tires are probably the hardest ones on earth to clean.
Those wheels were nasty.
They were so bad. And so a couple things that I noticed. Number one, my car is a test bed for ceramic coating. Every panel has a different ceramic on it. So what I thought was interesting was I was watching the behavior of the soap on each panel, and it was weird how literally some of them, the soap would not stick.
Yeah.
So there was the door fully foamed, and then the front fender, nothing would stick. Yeah. No soap. Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. Now it would be even more interesting if I remembered what coating was there. Then that would make it super interesting. But I have no idea.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. And then the other thing was the wheels. I know you guys probably can't see them very good, but so I have red Brembo brakes, right? Yeah. Caliper covers, and so those were essentially black.
They were black. Yeah.
They were black.
Yeah, full on.
And then the wheels are bronze, and they were black. Mm-hmm. And so all I did was foam them, so I haven't agitated them at all yet, and I'm actually surprised at how clean they are. I mean, they're not clean, but I'm surprised at how much that removed. So that was pretty cool. So now I'm going to go into foaming it and getting it clean, but it was interesting to see the behavior.
Nice,
for sure. Because I literally have 10 different coatings on this car. So
it's fun to try new products.
To me, it does without breaking my neck or my back, trying to look back.
Yeah.
It does look significantly cleaner.
Yeah.
I gotta
like
give
I'm
props.
actually surprised at how much that removed. So that's really cool.
We should
Also means the
probably
coatings
show
are
some
working.
before
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah.
but it's all
for
good.
sure.
Sorry, guys.
All
This is
right.
just a new experiment for trying this out because we know you guys had
There
fun
we
last
go.
time.
Oh, dang, we should have had
We
that
should have
shot.
led with that shot. You know how dirty it was back
Oh my
there
gosh,
before
it
we
was so
started?
filthy.
Now they're going to think we're lying because they didn't see it. So, shoot. We screwed up, guys. Man, we got to work on that.
That's all right.
Anyway,
Next
Sheep
up.
Star, thanks for the shout out. Moving along here. Good question here from Estacoca. Go ahead and read it.
Estacoca says, question, how concerned should I be about layering different products? Examples, PPF plus a ceramic coat plus something like Koshchemi 003, S003. You don't have to be super concerned. I mean, for example, like a lot of these products can be layered on top of things like PPF. S003, though, it's going to basically top off whatever the heck else you got. I mean, it's not going to necessarily smear or streak or have any major issues like that, mainly because it is water applied. It's not going to be like if you were to just try another sealant on top of your existing coating. So I think that you'll find some good results there. But that's where you kind of call it, though, right? You'll have your base layer being your PPF or your paint. You have your coating, and then you'll have some type of spray-on sealant or some type of water-activated sealant. That's where you kind of cut it off. Now, if you were to say, do that and then top it off with S001 after S003, I'd be like, you're crazy, you're doing too much. I think that's a good
Calm
amount
down.
right there. Holy crap, that foam is going on thick, dude. Can we get a shot of that?
I
That
was
is looking
just sitting there
wonderful.
so impressed that they had all these camera angles that we didn't discuss in advance, and here they are looking awesome. I just wish we'd seen it dirty before.
Can we get that back shot again? Those back shots are going wild right now.
That's
you know
wild,
what I mean?
all right. Yeah, no, crazy.
Look
Wow.
at that.
Jeez.
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
But hey, we're here to answer questions, you
Yeah.
know? So the back shots will have to wait. But anyway.
Look at that, though. That looks great. That's a great shot.
People can enjoy it while we talk. All right. So we got the SAR car group.
Okay.
Or SAR car group. Go
Is
ahead.
it better to use wool or microfiber for cutting? Let's say on the BMW hard clear coat, everyone recommends I use wool, but I use microfiber. So on hard BMW clear, right? This is one of the exceptions where you probably can for the most part jump into the microfiber, and you're not gonna be causing any major. You're not gonna be removing a whole lot of clear, right? I mean that paint is pretty hard, but. Generally speaking, microfiber is always going to run hotter than any type of wool, right? And so the cool wool can, in theory, probably cut more and work for a little bit longer than a microfiber pad that's going to get heated up and get tacky and sticky and have less rotations. I mean, microfiber you really have to stay on. I mean, even when working with hard clears, you're going to be brushing that out, blowing it out, swapping pads very often with microfiber, but wool you're going to be able to run for longer and it is going to stay cooler. And yes, in theory, the cooler the panel stays, the cooler the pad stays, the more cut you're going to be able to get. So for me, I would rather use wool with my favorite compound, or my preferred compound at the time. If I'm using last cut, heavy cut, whatever it may be. But then I might also do some spritzes of water on the surface. I might do a spritz of a quick detailer on the surface. I might do a spritz of diluted O&R 256-1, and then continuously work in that product, the compound, and kind of reactivate that in that wool and keep moving and keep cutting. Whereas a microfiber, you just really can't do that. It's going to get gunked up really fast. And I don't know. I've kind of moved away from microfiber pads personally, and I've gone to all wool, but some people just love the immediate cut of a microfiber, and there's no denying that.
No.
Jeff
Great
C
points.
says, I do appreciate the overhead shot for that Joey Belinsky POV. Yeah,
I skipped
it's
ahead to
true.
make sure I caught it while it was relevant there. But, that is what Joey sees in his just daily life. He's walking through a grocery store. He's essentially got the same perspective as like a security camera everywhere he goes. Although I don't think he sees in black and white. I think he sees full color. But anyway, moving along here, keep things going.
Juice says, I'm looking for the most anti-static as possible exterior. For exterior, what route product should I use? Man, I mean, you have quite a few options. I mean, you can use paint gloss, pretty good anti-static. Use Dreammaker, pretty good anti-static, both from PNS there. I find personally, I think the Amplify. I mean, I don't think Amplify tracks a whole lot of dust. That's from Armor Detail Supply.
Yeah.
I've had really good luck with that. QF from Koshchemi won't attract anything. free. Let's see. What else is going to be a pretty decent anti-static spray? Sid, what else am I missing? Anti-static.
Paint gloss.
Yeah, paint gloss.
Defenders.
Defenders does a pretty decent job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really interesting. Can you guys see this?
We can see a little bit.
These two doors are not holding onto the soap, but this
you
one is.
lean over
Isn't
and
that
kind of
so
let
weird?
them see. there you go. Yeah.
It's like wild. I think it's wild.
So what is on the surface where the doors are versus?
She doesn't know. She
forgot.
forgot.
Oh,
Sid forgot.
I don't know. The only one I know for sure is I know Stout is right here.
Okay, so we know that Stout's out back.
Just right
Stout
there.
is on the one tail light.
Yes. The one rear fender.
We're all going to learn
it's
together
wild.
today.
But then what's weird is on this side, the two doors have soap on them, but the rear doesn't, which has Stout on it. So this area has Stout.
We can clearly see that.
That is
Sid,
so
what the
strange.
heck? Yeah. Well, you know what? I think
People are getting a cool show today. I love this.
Looks pretty killer. I like it.
So I'm going to ask right now, people who are watching this, do you like this format? I'm enjoying this format of being able to have a little live wash session, but it's not necessarily a full distraction. It's just kind of there as a bonus to go along with your Q&A. I like the feel of it, hybrid.
I like it
plus,
too, 'cause,
you can ask questions on the fly about stuff.
And maybe one week somebody else sits at the table and I just get to wash my cars on
Sure.
rotation, right?
We can come up with an
just
excuse.
nothing but me washing my cars.
Okay.
My cars are constantly clean.
It's getting dangerously close to a wash and talk, though.
That's true. Yeah. So I don't know, but this is a nice format. So let's keep moving. Details official. What's good? What is good
Details
with you,
official.
my friend? And
Good to see you guys.
Next up, we have Sarah Car Group says, "I have washed cars. What are ceramic coated? Good maintenance wash, and then SO03 on the top. No props."
Okay, so he's just saying he has no problems using it that way. All right. And then Anna Longfield here. If you had the choice, wheels on or wheels off detail, what TRC products and chemicals are you using to perform your preferred method?
Wheels off detail, baby. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like getting a car onto a lift or maybe some quick jacks or maybe something like that.
You love your quicks.
Zipping those wheels off, rolling those out, leaning them up against the garage.
How are you taking those wheels off? Is it a Milwaukee? Maybe a little
I'm using
M18?
I'm using a Milwaukee. I'm using a half inch with like 1,200 foot-pounds of nut busting torque.
That thing
I'm busting
busts.
a nut, right?
Busts
and
them.
after I'm
Yeah.
busting the nuts off, that's when I'm rolling them out, giving them a deep clean, focusing on the tires, focusing on the barrels, the faces, all of that. There's nothing like just a wheels off detail for some reason. It's just awesome. And then taking a steam cleaner, going in there, knocking out the wheel wells, the fender liners, the suspension. Like, my mouth is salivating right now as I'm saying this. I don't have time for these things
You
anymore.
can't be
Dane.
doing that.
I can't do this at home anymore. I have time. I have
So you're just going to
family.
find a way to finagle it
And-
into our actual day job?
Yes,
That's what's happening?
And I still
Okay.
need help picking things up. But outside of that, though, I love, that's like my favorite, right? And then wheels off detail, steaming the undercarriage, getting all of that cleaned up, polishing the exhaust, polishing the paint, getting the wheels back on, and there's just something about it when that car rolls out into the sun for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Where you pray
Did I do it right?
to the ceramic lords that there's no high spots. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what you don't want. But no, I love wheels off.
Love that. And then Anna also follows up with a different question. What TRC towel and chemical are y'all using for dash clusters and nav screens?
So what TRC towel and chemical are you all using for dash clusters and nav screens? So I use eaglets for this. I'm really weird about clusters.
Well,
I'm
there's
like,
there's a few things to consider. So I will throw this at you and you can tell me if you agree or disagree. But eaglet, great move. Love that for like an initial pass. Make sure you're safely removing any dust, debris, stuff like that from the surface, regardless of what kind of screen you have. If it's a glass surface or if it's like capacitive touch, whatever it is, you want to make sure you're careful, because if it's like an older touch screen, you get that weird film on there that starts to get kind of wrinkly after a while. Like if you're looking at like old Lexuses, some of the earlier touchscreens and stuff from the early 2000s, late 90s,
gotcha.
you find that. Just something to be aware of. But on modern cars, not so much a problem. They're much better for that. However, I was going to say, you start with a long pile, like the eaglet, but then you want to evolve. I would turn to a micro suede towel, such as like a buttersoft suede, something along those lines, or even just like a pearl weave, something tight but short pile to make sure and get that nice clean final pass.
Yeah.
And that means a lot to me. But if you're using like a glass cleaner or something to that effect, you could do it. Quick detailer also would be fine.
Yeah.
Something with the anti-static though, because that is a surface that you got to be mindful of.
I'm very weird about clusters, knowing how easy certain plastics scratch.
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
And so, for example, a brand new Tacoma, right? We'll say the previous generation of Tacoma, right? Not the newest one. Haven't seen those clusters, but let's just say you take your 2023 and below Tacoma. Or is it that what it is? 2023.
Like the new ones are 25s. So basically anything prior to that.
Yeah, prior to just the previous
generation
version.
that I owned.
The generation that you owned. Those clusters, they scratch by looking at them. Literally, you look at them, you wipe them with the wrong towel, bam, they are gouged, they're scratched, and when that sun hits them, that's going to make that interior look like a 30-year-old car in no time.
Gloss black plastics are the devil.
What I like to do is
Piano black is the devil.
So I take an eaglet, right? Take an eaglet or an Eagle 350, and I have my O&R mix, right? My 250 6-to-1. Sometimes we'll use distilled water, whatever it may be, and I have that ready to go. I pre-spray my Eaglet or Eagle 350, pre-spray that, get that slightly damp, give it a quick little mist onto that dash screen, and then I will go through and I will remove any dust, any fingerprints, anything like that off of there first, because I know that dust will probably scratch. And then if I need to do some fine finishing, remove any residual lint, or just simply get that to look as crystal clear as possible, then I will follow up with a light glass cleaner and something like a Pearl or an FTW or something. But basically what I'm trying to say is I don't go into any type of gloss black interior plastic, any type of gauge cluster, anything like that, without effectively and safely removing the dirt first. I don't just spray a glass cleaner and just frantically wipe. I don't do that.
Sure. No, that makes sense.
Hopefully that helps. It just, guys, it's a pain to replace gauge cluster like screens. It's a pain to replace trims. It sucks to do all that. So I'd rather be absolutely crazy and clean them the right way. Everything else in the interior, I could, whatever, just wipe down. But
do it right the first time.
One thing where I'm like, no, this has to be perfect. Has to be pure.
The clear plastic over gauges in a lot of cars is the first thing that gets just destroyed.
Agreed. Oh man, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing, dude. I guess I'm fighting the horse-sized duck.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Carson paid attention to a little something I did before the show started. I threw together a little goal because I thought it would be fun. So what I did was, hey, you know what? If people feel like contributing to Super Chats, you're more than welcome to. By no means is it expected. But I thought a fun way to encourage people to try it would be if you make a $10 or larger Super Chat, you will be contributing towards a 20 total Super Chat goal. All we have to hit is 20 from anybody combined. And Gabe will get foamed in a future video or live stream. Yet to be determined, but he won't be able to back out of it because this is a legally binding contract as far as I'm concerned.
Did he sign it? Does he know that?
No, it's more like a deal with the devil. So anyway, he's just going to find out.
We've hit 2 out of 20.
So we're off to a good start, but we will get to those. Don't worry. I just wanted to make sure to throw that out there so more people are aware. And moving along here.
The last bandit says, hi, love the rinseless wash method, so wanted to know how long you can keep a rinseless in an IK Pro sprayer mixed with G-Tech. Okay, what the heck am I reading right here? How long would rinseless keep in an IK 12 Pro sprayers, and can it be mixed with G-Technic ceramic wash?
There you go.
Don't mix them. Don't mix the rinseless together. Don't do that. I don't know what would happen. I just don't think that's a good idea. And as far as keeping rinseless in an IK 12 Pro, like a multi-pro 12, dude, you can keep the rinseless in there for really months. I mean, until it starts getting stinky, it's going to be effective. It's not going to...
I mean, if it's sealed up, it's less likely to have those problems. Whereas in a bucket...
I've had diluted O&R sitting on shelves for 5-6 months, and it loses its color, but it doesn't lose its cleaning properties.
Only thing to look out for is if you're going to keep it in a bucket instead of like an IK or something, probably good to have a Gamma Seal lid, something you can like seal that bucket, because I don't know why, I just had this funny feeling that if you left it open, something could crawl inside of it and die, and it would be bad.
That happens all the time.
That's
Dane.
why I'm saying that. It's
There
bad.
are mouse,
I've
there
heard
are
so many
mice
stories.
and rats and bugs.
Because it's a
and-
garage, it's a warehouse, it's a shop, it's the kind of place where critters are going to be around. And hey, what's in this
Well,
bucket?
they
Oh no,
think-
I can't
they
get
think
back
it's
out.
okay to go swimming in the pool.
So the pool has no steps to get back out. Just saying. Espen, hi, my Norwegian brothers and Sydney. Hello,
Thank you.
Espen. Thank you for
Espen, I
joining
am
us.
still officially 1% Norwegian, and
I'm quite a bit more Norwegian. I'm like at least 30 to 40% Norwegian.
I
so
don't doubt it, Dane.
yeah,
I mean,
there's
but
definitely a lot of that Scandinavian
I'm
blood
holding on to
running
that
through me.
1% for dear life. Joe Belinsky says, hello from sunny Northern California, thinking about all of our friends in Southern California.
I hope
As
everyone's
are
okay
we.
down there, seriously.
Holy crap, dude. That got
That was
so bad,
insane.
man. I can't believe how bad that got.
Those
it was horrible.
winds wreaked havoc. So
yeah. Apologies
you know.
to everybody down there. We actually have a couple Grand Ambassadors that were actually, partially affected
Right.
by the fires as well. And really, I hope things start working out for everybody. And it
insurance does
just
its
sucks,
job.
man. I
and-
hope insurance does its job. Dude, horrible. So yeah, prayers out to everybody still going through all that. Yeah.
Of course. And then Hans making sure to scream in the chat, the Queen is in the house. Okay,
Hans is
yes.
excited.
We see it.
Yeah.
And Tamara saying, yes, this is exciting. Loving the setup. All right, moving along. Oh, my goodness. There it is. We have to clap every time there's a super chat. That's a rule. I don't know if you're new here, but that is how it works.
So we just need 20 super chats.
That's 20. I made it kind of a high goal because I didn't want it to be
but we can
too
do
easy.
20, but if they just only give
If
us
20
$1.
people contribute a minimum of a $10 super chat or higher,
Dang, it's $10 minimum.
it's $10. I did that on purpose because I didn't want it to be too easy because I know Gabe would complain. I made the bar
Dane,
realistic enough that Gabe would have to.
I know,
he
but
would have.
like-
He wouldn't be able to get out of it. Is my point. This is like a very lofty but realistic.
He needs to get foamed the same way that me and you got foamed that one time.
We did. I mean, high five. We did it.
Yeah.
And Levi escaped here without ever doing it. I'm still mad about that. Come on.
We will get him.
I mean,
someday.
he works at a car wash now. He could just walk right through there.
We
Look how
will
mad he
find
is.
him.
That's hilarious.
Gabriel,
All right.
Gabriel's come into the studio. He's giving us
man.
I believe it's a friendly bird, is what that is, right?
Oh, little bird on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Can I just say something?
Oh no, what are you gonna say, Gabe?
Here's the deal. The Q&A is for questions, detailing questions. But if we're going to talk about foaming somebody, here is my thought process.
Ball's already been foamed, so this ain't gonna do anything.
Carson, as the newest member of the Rag Company team, right?
Carson, don't you walk away.
He's very
He
nonchalant.
is the newest member. I feel like 10 super chats, $5 each, something in that realm.
$50. Yeah, I think you'd
Well, the
get
goal's
phoned.
already
You
been
can
set.
get
I
phoned for
can't take it back.
$50,
No.
right?
Yeah, he would $50 for Carson. But really,
Carson,
guys,
you're
the premise,
young. Your
the
back
premise
is strong.
questions. Answer
like,
the
little foam's
questions.
not going to hurt you.
Oh, we got plenty of questions and comments here, but
Keep
we
in
did
mi-
want to
keep in
add a
mind,
degree
we are
of
saying
danger.
this all in front of her HR guy.
Yes.
Kevin from HR
He's
in
right
the back.
there.
You know,
Shout out Kevin. We love
he's
Kevin.
overviewing the deal to make sure this is legitimate.
Kevin's good people. And hey, we've been phoned before, so we kind of just have a leg to stand on there.
We do,
We're we're immune. We have
Agreed.
immunity.
Agreed.
But Gabe most certainly doesn't. And if that looked like the face of somebody you want to see foamed, just saying. Just
I
saying.
think it does. Damn.
All right, moving along here. I got Kane Tuber. Very timely topic, says Kane Tube V1. Just received my first bottle of Koshemi RRW. Arrived 25% frozen. Is it ruined? 25%.
No, it's okay. Yep, just let it thaw out. I don't recommend putting it back into freezing cold weather. I don't recommend refreezing it, but ideally you bring that indoors, let it thaw out. It's going to be totally fine. Really, what's going to hurt really any detailing chemical in general is just going to be a constant cycle of freezing and thawing. You don't want to have to keep going through all these cycles. So if you do find that your detailing products are freezing in the garage or have frozen in shipping, bring them in. Keep them warm, keep them that way throughout winter, and then you won't have any issues with them. But as long as they're not going through constant freeze thaw cycles, you're going to be totally fine.
All right. Excellent.
Next up,
I've got Frankie Lepe saying, I need that new PNS towel, the Refine.
I don't know anything about that towel.
Yeah, maybe Sydney does.
Maybe Sydney does. Sydney,
maybe Sydney knows something.
Are you laying down any Amplify as a drying aid? Are you raw in it? Are you going in raw?
You know what?
Raw dog in that Jeep's
What's the
paint.
point of having a ceramic?
I
Just
know,
straight into
but
it.
I mean, I didn't think you were just gonna go like that. That's fine. I
It's
set
fine.
some Amplify over there
I know
for
I'm
you.
going to use that dry.
Okay.
Okay.
No, that works.
No, use it dry. Use it dry. Sorry.
Totally,
it.
totally
No-
fine either way. We're not
No-
looking to dilute the process.
No judgment. No
I got
judgment.
it. I got it. I do this every day.
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't want to tell Sid how to do her job.
No,
She's
we're
good
not.
at
No,
it.
we're
So,
not.
no,
We're not.
she's.
I
got
would
it.
like another angle of the car though. how's it looking so far with just the oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
look at that thing,
Jeez,
man.
that's some red
I cleaned
right
up
there.
nice.
Dude, that thing is
So
glowing.
red.
It looks great.
And red with bronze wheels. It does kind of work. You wouldn't think
Yeah, I
it,
haven't
but
even
it
cleaned
does.
the wheels yet.
I mean, that just foaming it alone seemed to do quite a bit.
Yeah, agreed.
So, moving along here, I've got a few more. And to Cane Tube's point, that was something I threw in today's Q&A because I try and lead with a question for people. And I thought, I used to see this all the time. People would be like, product froze in transit because it's the winter and it got left on my porch or something. Now the product's frozen. Is it any good or is it toast? And realistically, there's so many opportunities for stuff to freeze just during the process that it would have to work out at the end. Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth shipping it in the first place. So, yeah. What are some products you would say, maybe off the top of your head, would be less good if they froze?
Any soap, really? I mean, not want to say less good. I mean,
Just
soap's
more
once-
problematic if it
once
were to
soap's
freeze.
It's a pain to use first and foremost because I mean, depending on the viscosity of the soap, I mean, it'll come out like literally like super glue, and you don't want that. It won't really necessarily harm in the long run. It's just an annoyance, especially when trying to wash in the wintertime. I know that certain sealants don't love to be frozen over and over. Yeah, but quick detailers are fine. I mean, interior cleaners are fine. There's a lot of products that won't be affected at all whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Sheepstar threw out here, I'm seeing leather care products can't freeze, according to Sheepstar. I don't know. It depends on the leather care product, doesn't it? Although I think
we
there's-
typically won't see that. I don't think I've ever seen a leather care product. I don't think
It's not
I've
very
ever
likely, I don't think.
I don't think I've ever seen
Because most of
freeze.
them end up being kind of more like pastes or gels, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I think there's the chemical makeup too of it. It maybe prevents it from really freezing.
That makes sense.
But like quick detailers are probably the most common thing I've seen freeze. Probably just
Yeah.
because the water content. It's just the most amount of water. I mean, that next to sealants and stuff like that.
That makes sense, yeah.
So Hans was at TRC EU yesterday afternoon. Hopefully you gave Patrick a big old hug. Maybe gave Quentin a high five. Right? Quentin, I miss that guy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
He was our. What do we call him?
Well, he was one of the thieves in their Shine Alone
I know,
parody
but
thing.
what was his name? The nickname that we gave him? Stagiaire.
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 It's a fancy way of saying intern.
Yeah, dude. And we called him Stagiaire for the whole week, even at
Did he
SEMA.
enjoy that, or was he kind of just like, I can't wait for this to stop?
Dude, he liked this trip so much. He liked the trip to Idaho so much. He got a 208 tattoo on him.
No way.
I think so. I think it
What?
was a 208 tattoo.
Quentin, if
Yeah.
you're here, let us know. I mostly wanted to include Hans's comment, though, to let our European viewers know that there is a TRC EU.
There
and
is.
just to remind you that, yes, you can check out any of our fine distributors at theragcompany.com. We have a whole distributors page. So if you're not based in the U.S., you still got options, quite a few around the world.
Yep, agreed.
All right. So Frankie's saying, Donkey, in the morning, we're making waffles.
I like
That's
that.
right. I like that. Okay. Wow. So, geez. Anna, again, with a second super to Anna. You're out of control.
We're getting there, baby.
I love it, but holy cow.
We're getting
read
there.
this.
I haven't super chatted in a while. This is to Foam Gabe. Thanks for being a great place to hang out virtually on Thursdays. Thank you, Anna. You're
Thank you
amazing.
very much.
Keep up the good work. Keep up the positivity. We love seeing you here every Thursday, and we hope it stays that way.
We appreciate your company.
We have people come and go, and we call them the forgotten.
Forgotten.
I don't want you to be one of them, Anna.
No.
I want you to be with us for the long haul.
That's right.
Fine Detailing says 2 days in a row. Pumped.
It
Ryan,
has been a good week for live streams, so
Yep.
glad we got that for you.
Yep. What you can't see is I am chained to this table.
He cannot leave.
They stopped letting me leave the studio.
It's a
after,
mic wire,
after
but
Le-
it is chaining you
after
to your.
Levi left, they stopped. I just can't even leave here. My family has to come visit me on TRC's terms.
You just get scheduled visits, and you're chained to the table.
I miss the smell of home.
Oh man.
Anyways,
Ronnie
Ron says hello,
hello, and I'll give you that. All right, and then we got Nathan Godinez saying hey, and Jeff C. Wanted to see if Sydney would do a hybrid wash, just because of your rant yesterday about hybrid washes for Rinseless. But I think you got a good wash. It was just you putting on a bit of an extra level of energy that people hadn't necessarily seen. It was when people who otherwise would be doing like a soap wash, but they heard about rinseless washes, but they weren't quite comfortable with it. Okay. They're like, I'll do a rinseless wash, but then they're essentially just doing both washes.
Well, and I've heard
back
of people
to back.
like foam it, like pre-foaming it and then finishing it with a rinseless.
Like in the UK, they do a lot of snow foams and that kind of thing. Yeah. It's a different kind of foam, the way it works, but still, hybrid washes, you're not necessarily being more efficient, but they want to feel like they're being safer, even though I would argue rinseless
you're halfway
is
there.
Safer.
Yeah.
You've already done it. You've literally pulled out all of the inconvenient things.
Yeah.
Right.
Just finish it.
Yeah.
Your rant was, you already pulled out the pressure washer and did all this other stuff. Fine, just do that.
Right. And if I've already filled up all the cracks with water,
you've already done it. Just commit.
Oh, man. Okay, random reviews.
Well,
that's nice.
Wait, hold on. Okay. Nice topic. Shout out to Sid. This will make her feel good. Sid is the hottest mom, the best detailer on this channel, in my opinion.
Thanks.
She's the only mom.
I'm not a mom. You're not a mom.
Yeah, on this channel.
Oh. That's like when you say you're my favorite sister when she's your only sister.
Still counts. Just doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
It's hilarious. That's so funny.
Yeah. We just gotta look out. Sometimes people can make things way more awkward than they really mean to. Fine detailing, my condolences. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And okay, we're getting all the messages there. So I really do appreciate you guys saying that, though. So thank you. Espen, want to recoat my car. I have Diamond Protec DP36 and want to use the same coating. It's negative 18 degrees Celsius outside here in Norway. That's 0 degrees Fahrenheit. How long would you wait to use the car after coating? Well, I mean, are you doing the coating outside where it's that cold, or are you doing it like in a garage where it's maybe a little bit warmer?
I mean, how long would you wait to use the car after coating it? I mean, if you're coating it in, I guess I'm assuming a warmer environment, I don't know. I mean, I'd just start using it, man. I mean, I'd probably coat it, give it a day, maybe like half a day, and then just get out there. I mean, unless you're talking about coating in 0 degrees, like that's not ideal. That's not a good time. I wouldn't do that. I'd wait till it warms up. But if you're talking about coating in a nice controlled environment and then how long you should wait, I don't really think you should need to wait. Just finish coating the car, give it half a day, drive off.
Yeah. Joey, also big shout out to Callie. Love her. Never met her, but loved her from afar. And sorry for your last name. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate that, Sheepstar. All right. Let's see about... Thank you for the shout out. And here we go. Jeremy Kessler, what's he saying?
Best ways or tips to polish or ceramic a ceramic coating on my black Tacoma. G-Technic CSL. Something has caused some faint water run marks on the sides I can't get off with a typical decon wash. So I would probably try W9 first, water spot remover. See if that'll do anything. Maybe there's some minerals in there just being left behind. I've had similar stuff before, and I've used W9, and it's actually taken it off. I was like, sweet, didn't have to polish it. CSL, you can polish through pretty easily, unfortunately. So I would probably go with a Rupes white pad, and I would use something really, really mild. So that's where you could use something like Uno Pure. You could use Uno Advanced. You could use... I think Rehab with a white pad would probably be fine as well. I don't think you would do a whole lot to it. Hyper Polish from Optimum would be fine. And the Final Polish would be fine. Basically, you're going to buzz it down, but you're not going to sit there and work it in, right? So the goal is to remove, if not minimize, the appearance of whatever that faint spotting is without actually attempting to cut through all the way. So, I mean, I pretty much would set the machine, I don't know, 3 or 4, do a quick buzz over the top, make a couple quick passes, check your work, call it. You know, once it's better, once it's good enough, you call it good. But Uno Advanced would probably be the best because in case you do happen to break through some of the coating, you will have a replacement protection product being left over and behind. And so we tell people all the time, Uno Advanced for coating touch-up is fantastic, and yeah, there's no issues there. Sydney, do you have any other recommendations?
As far as coatings?
Coating touch-up, right? You have an
Coating
issue
touch-up.
in the coating. You don't want to remove the coating fully, but you just want to remove a small defect. What do you like to use?
So I would use like a black pad, like, you know, a
Black
black or white, and then just like a light, you know, polish. I mean, Rehab would be good. Envy would be good. You know, something that's a light polish, I would start least aggressive, because then that's the least amount of coating you're going to remove.
Yep.
But then I would still always just plan to put another coat over it.
Okay.
You know, even if it's
totally.
like a quick coating, because you can totally touch those up. I would do the whole panel. Don't just do that spot. So if you were correcting a spot, I would correct the entire panel, though.
Okay.
You know, and
Cool.
recoat it.
Cool. Good
For
advice.
sure.
Excellent. All right.
Next up, dun, 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 dun. We got
Alex
Alex
Dewar.
that says, we'll need to catch this later. Thoughts are with you, Dane.
Oh, thanks, buddy. This goes back to my comment about the pressure washer and going while we were talking. A lot of people were essentially just saying that it's loud, but they could hear us. So things to consider in the future. I think it may have just been that it was picked up on like Sid's mic. So maybe in the future we kind of dial that one down when she's using it, and then we just keep our mics turned up. But hey, stuff you learn for future ones. People really seem to be enjoying the setup. Although Anna does say pressure washer is distracting. And also, Anna says, I built a lot of the new baggage conveyors at SeaTac. That's interesting. So she's commenting on your SeaTac commentary. Then other people saying it's loud but survive. And then Jeff C. likes the ambient pressure washer sound. So you get a little bit of everybody. Random reviews. I like the pressure washer. It's like waves on a beach.
Sort of.
Sort of. All right. So Tamara here also saying that I saw Lucas yesterday after the fact, so I got to see my Lucas.
Nice.
All right. And then I've got, Ron wanting to know, when's Anthony going to coat that Raptor?
I don't know. Sometime eventually. I'm actually going to get the plan is next week, get the windows tinted. I think that's the plan, to get a little bit of PPF on some things. And then at that point, I'll figure out when I'm going to go through. It's got something on it right now. I don't even know what it is, but there's some type of protection on it. Beads up beautifully, looks awesome, but it has marring. It's got stuff I just got to kind of quickly, lightly coat. But so I'll get to it.
Okay. Then I've got Jeremy Kessler here saying, best ways or tips to polish a ceramic coating on my black Toyota Tacoma. G-Technic CSL, something has caused faint water
we
run
got
marks.
that.
Okay, we got
Yep,
that
got
one.
that.
Okay. Just making sure. Hans also saying, Fat Joe will keep those rims looking spot on. Fat Joe is a raccoon. I'm not sure if Fat Joe is able to do that, but that's a PNS inside joke about a very friendly, large, possibly overweight raccoon, so that's fun.
Gotcha.
Let's see, we've got, that was nice. Brett here. Thought it was super classy. Y'all let Levi do a goodbye video. Hope he's doing great. Well, you can always check in on Auto Wash's
YouTube channel.
media. You can see what he's doing over there.
I talk to Levi like every single week. Actually,
you
I
do.
need to call him back. We pretty much still talk all the time. So he is doing great. He's happy. Things are going well. He's enjoying the Colorado vibes. He's been going out and exploring new places around the Denver area. I know that much. And then
He's got to become
a
a resident local expert, because he
Well,
had it so easy here. He's here forever.
and
He's
he's
got to start from scratch again.
He's got a couple amazing amenities there in the Auto Wash HQ parking lot. They have a freaking Chick-fil-A, like literally like you can throw a football to the Chick-fil-A, and then right next to the Chick-fil-A, like literally right next to it, Cracker Barrel. What more could Levi want in life?
He's set.
He's set. He's got a freaking Cracker Barrel in his works parking lot.
I mean, it's like comically.
I know.
Just the way it worked out.
You know
for
what?
him.
I think just saying Cracker Barrel was getting me excited. I think I'm gonna go to Cracker Barrel tonight for dinner.
You're gonna start drooling.
I think Barrel's one of the only places that still sells Razzles. Mike G says, don't sleep on decon soap. Nope, it's a killer soap. obviously Sid was just like, what the heck? They did an amazing job.
No, it did, for real. And Steve Pearson, our resident Volkswagen lover.
Says, hey all, weather report, 24 degrees Fahrenheit in eastern PA.
All right, thank
Nippy.
you for the update, sir. Oh my God!
Oh.
What the? Oh, come on! This is Anna. You are a trooper, and we appreciate you so much.
Yep, for Dane's Pup's memory
And for contributing to the Gabe Gets Foamed Fund. I like that.
That's gonna make you feel better.
That makes me feel. You know what, guys? I'm just saying that really does start to help heal. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Seeing Gabe get foamed, would
foamed in a super
really
high
help give me some
pH
closure.
soap, very unsafe soap.
I'm not saying it solves everything, but it's a start.
Yeah.
Nothing can really heal that wound completely, but I
know what
really
you're saying.
do genuinely appreciate the support. So thank you. All right, so these are a bunch of people responding to each other back and forth. We got Hans here foaming up Dane and Anthony for 200 likes. Hit it, guys. No, that's not what's happening here because we've already been hit before. People who don't remember, we have to remind you, we've been foamed for a video before, and we're the only ones here who have.
I've been snow jobbed before.
That's right. Bowden's Own, they don't mess around.
No.
All right.
Next up, we've got...
Loving all the camera angles. All right. And Joey, great vibes in this live.
Dude, we're just hanging out, man.
Yeah,
Joey.
This is chilling.
This could be you. In the back here, reach your size gentleman, washing your own vehicle. All you got to do is take up that trip to TRC, right?
For real.
Drive that little unreliable Volkswagen all the way up here. If it makes it.
Oh, man.
It doesn't break down halfway to... You might see it stuck in Jordan Valley, Oregon.
You remember I don't think anybody wants to be stuck.
Jordan Valley, home of the Mustangs. It's a population of 50 people, and
It's of all the places I've been, it's one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, Neil White. That is one good-looking Jeep. I agree. It looks great. Brodizzle's Dazzle Detailing. Now that's a name. That is a name.
Anthony, what is your favorite wheel cleaning method? Mine is PNS Crystal Wash, then topping it with ADS wheel. Amazing cleaning power that 100%. I think combined, those two are gonna. That's a 1-2 punch for sure. Me, I am still a huge fan of Forced from Star Glass. I love that. I'll use that as a pre-treatment in some cases for both wheels and tires. But I gotta say, man, the ADS wheel cleaner, that Japanese squash scent, I can smell it right now. It's in the air.
Oh, yes. That is so good.
It does something for me, man. I'm really liking that ADS wheel cleaner. But I mean, hey, if I'm looking for old reliable, nothing wrong with a little bit of brake buster. And if I'm looking to make life easy on myself, Magic Wheel Cleaner.
That is wonderful.
Magic Wheel Cleaner is still, that's one of my, I'd probably say top 3.
All right. Then I've got Estacoca saying, thanks for the great input. You guys are the best. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
You are the best.
You flatter us. All right. More comments about the Joey POV cam. All right. And then Brodazzle meant to ask something. Chemo Racing saying, amazing brand. Probably referring to Armor Detail Supply work on the car there. Then we've got... Okay, this is some commentary. People were liking the format, because I asked if people were enjoying it, like the mix of the Q&A plus just a detail going on in the background. I think you guys agree. This is a good combo. It may be a little distracting, but it's fun.
Dane, you want to know something that bummed me out the other day?
What bummed you out the other day?
Okay, I'm sorry.
What bummed you out the other day?
I guess I didn't think about that. So
it's not a competition. I'm just trying to heal
what I love
the
about
humor,
our live stream is I love being able to talk directly to the audience, and I love being able to pull up their comments. I love being able to answer everybody's questions. I love the this cool relationship that we have with everybody, right? The other day I was I was just on YouTube, right? A couple channels were going live that I periodically watch, and it bums me out, dude. Like if I leave a comment, right, and like they skip me, right, I don't know why. Like I kind of like, I don't want to say I take offense to it, but it kind of like, it just bums me out, right? And some of these channels are not necessarily massive, but I'll leave a comment and hope that they kind of respond back or say hi or something, and they don't do it, and it bums me out. I don't know what it is. Would that bum you out or not really?
I mean,
like I don't feel like I'm so entitled that they have to like say something back, but I think it's just kind of like we are so good about doing it that when I get to other people's channels and like, you know, they overlook my question or they overlook my something. Shoot, dude, freaking Matt. My own friend.
Matt does that all the time. Even when you comment
I can
in
leave
his
a
chat,
comment on
he will
Matt's
ignore
channel,
you.
and they'll just pass right over me.
Yeah.
And I go, what the heck? Thought we were friends, man.
You know what, though? I would be bummed by that, but then I'd have to remind myself what we do here, like, this is not to super flatter ourselves, but realistically, what we do here is not the norm. I generally do my best not to skip any comments, as long as they're, like, actual questions and stuff. I try and give every single one I catch on here the time of day. If it's hellos and stuff, and we want to make sure we're not like boring the audience at home who don't know all the people and stuff, we want to make sure we get to the questions and the content quickly. But the reality is, like, it does kind of turn into like a family get together every time we do this.
I feel like it does. Anyway, I'm not saying Matt is the primary person that does that, but I'm just saying there's other channels where I've done it. I go, oh, shoot, man.
But like I said,
I want
like,
to be picked.
For
Pick
us, when you come into the chat here, it does. We go out of our way to really try and include everybody we can. I mean, unless it's like a comment where it's like, I literally can't post that, you know, which does happen from time to time, but usually not.
Speaking of which, what happened to G Davis? Where's G been?
G has been really quiet. What's up
It's
with
been
that?
weeks. Can somebody check on him?
All right.
Can we
Just
do a house check?
A wellness check.
G
just make
Davis?
sure things are all right. Joey, if only Sydney had some type of wash media on a pole. Okay.
That might make
something
things
to think
easy.
about.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh. Big nice you, Bob. Foam and talk, always a good combo. Do love that. The people are enjoying that. Jeff C. agrees this format is perfect. And Sydney should co-host when Anthony cleans his cars. All right, Anthony agrees.
Agreed. No, that's what I'm saying. You know, you just swap back and forth, right? Sydney pops up here.
Yeah.
I mean, Sid, are you enjoying cleaning your car?
Well, they told me you were cleaning it.
Yeah, I don't know where that.
Boy, that backfired.
I don't know where that. I don't know how
I'm
that
just
got
kidding. Nobody
misinterpreted.
told me that.
Oh, no. Yeah. So, that's good. We're less boring and more engaging with this format. Well, when you talk for 2 hours,
Well, Mike,
it's
well,
not
I mean, like,
necessarily
okay.
the most engaging thing, but there are people who appreciate it. This originally started. I'm going to be that guy.
Goose,
I originally
Mike.
created Q&A as a way to do customer service. That was
Yeah.
really like my initial purpose for creating this
Mike,
show.
we want you to be honest, but not that honest. It's less boring.
No, that's not true, Mike. I appreciate the
Crap.
unvarnished honesty. If it hurts and it's true, I'll
I'm
take
hurt.
it.
My feelings.
It doesn't change the fact that, you bruise
feelings.
this poor guy's ego, but you're just going to have to be more interesting, I guess.
Oh,
it's clearly
gosh.
not me. I'm boring to begin with.
How many-
Nobody expects anything out of me.
What can you do? I haven't had a marmot jump in my engine bay in a few years now. So
Yeah. Oh,
next time.
Regarding your Milwaukee commentary, Ninja says family friendly, please. But the fact is, Milwaukee actually used that phrase in their marketing, referring to that, of course.
100%.
the busting.
Not busting,
So, yeah. They use it in their marketing. Jimmy. Not our Jimmy, though. Jimmy DeCricket. Hey, from Australia again. First paid customer was absolutely stoked, as was the second. Third's already booked in. Awesome, dude. Glad you're on your way to detailing as a regular thing.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
really cool.
That's great.
So hopefully things are working out. And, of course, if you ever have issues, you got questions, that's what we're here for. So let us know. All right. So moving along here, I've got Chemo Racing.
Hi guys, is there a big difference between 80-20 and 70-30 microfiber towels? Would love to hear more about this topic.
Yes.
Yes and no. I mean, so your 80% is going to be your polyester, your 20% is going to be your polyamide. So the polyamide is always going to be the more expensive material between the two,
And
right?
thus the smaller number.
And thus being the smaller number. Now, there is a point of diminishing return where once you get past that 70-30 blend, right, from a cost perspective and also performance perspective, there's no great advantages to making, like, for example, a 75 or a 65-35 or making a 60-40. That's not going to make a better towel. So, in terms of the absorbency, though, a lot of the absorbency is going to come from that lower number, the polyamide in there. So what happens is that there's a lot of store-bought towels that you can pick up, right, that are sometimes a 90-10 blend, right, 90% polyester, 10% polyamide, which are not going to be very absorbent. They're going to push a lot of liquid around, push a lot of water around. It's going to give you just a bad microfiber experience, and oftentimes, too, polyester can get really kind of grabby, can catch your fingers. It just doesn't feel as nice, right? With the the introduction of more polyamide, right, that's when things are going to become softer. That's when things are going to become way more absorbent, right? So if you were to take a 90-10 drying towel versus into 70-30, there's not even a comparison. The 70-30 will blow it out of the water. Now, 80-20 is still going to be absorbent. It's still going to do a decent job, but 80-20 is maybe a little bit better for maybe certain cases that don't need a whole lot of absorbency or maybe softness, right? So an 80-20 glass towel, pretty decent. An 80-20 all-purpose towel, right, just for general purpose cleaning, can also be pretty decent as well. But like an 80-20 drying towel, that's where you want to see a little bit of a bump in polyamide, or a final finishing towel, you want to see a bump in polyamide. Hopefully that helps. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of the main differences: absorbency, softness. GSM has nothing to do with it.
No, the GSM is literally just the density of the material, which has a lot to do with how something's woven and how much material there actually is present.
Correct.
So, yeah, GSM not to be used as a determining factor in the quality of a towel, unless more of a good thing is a good thing. Say you have a good quality yarn, it's a nice blend, and it's a dense material, then great, you got high GSM, but that's not necessarily the point.
Nope.
So it all depends on how you're planning on using a product. But generally speaking, yes, as he said, 70-30 is going to be the more premium move, but it's not the end-all be-all. You can certainly make do with 80-20s if that's all you have access to for some reason. It's just, if you can actually get 70-30s, they're definitely worth it. All right, so moving along, we've got Stealth GR4. Question for Sydney. Hey, check it out. So, I live in Detroit, Michigan, and I need some quick protection that will last through the winter. What out of these three would you recommend? Defender, Beadmaker, 3D epoxy, or 3D ceramic wax?
Okay, so definitely not the last two. Epoxy is just like, it doesn't really have any protection. So it's kind of meant to, it's kind of like a glaze. The 3D ceramic wax, it's going to be a ceramic infused wax, but I still think that anything that is a wax base is very temporary. So it's only going to last, through a washes. So given that you're in Michigan, and I know you're going to be dealing with a lot of what I was just dealing with on this car, which was the salt buildup, that's probably not your best option. Because when you go to wash it, you're going to need to use some type of decon like I did, which is going to strip most, light sealants and waxes. So I would honestly do Defender.
He's saying Defender plus Beadmaker.
So I know this is like a controversial thing, but you guys, I do this every single day. I do Beadmaker first. I know that it's kind of counterintuitive to what we hear, that you put your strongest protection first. But the way these two work together, because Beadmaker has that curing element, so it's like 2 to 8 hours of curing. So Defender, we know that, scientifically it soaks into a ceramic or whatever is underneath it, it soaks into it and then it cures and locks together, right? So if you put Defender on top of Beadmaker within that 30 to 90 minute window, Defender actually soaks into Beadmaker and they cure together. And so then the reason that I do this is because I want the water behavior from Defender. Even though Beadmaker's fun and all that, I want the water behavior and the gloss from Defender, but I want the warmth and the glow from Beadmaker. So I actually put Beadmaker down first, and I actually do it with a clay towel so that I'm decontaminating and then laying down my sealant, and then I top it with Defender. And I promise you, it sounds like totally backwards, but it's amazing. So not to say that you can't do Defender with plus Beadmaker, you absolutely can, but I find better results doing it the other way, just because of that unique soaking method. And because we know Beadmaker, obviously it's still the old school formula, we love it, but because it has that curing time, which new sealants don't, we kind of get to take advantage of that, and really like something magical happens. So
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, that certainly helps. Thank you, Sydney. That's why we've got you here. This helps so much. I hear them starting my car out there, so I'm wondering if they're going to swap us at the halfway point to put my dirty car in here next.
So
I'd be very excited if that's the case.
Plot twist. So I washed a dirty car.
Now it's his turn?
Anthony gets to wash his
Yes.
and he's gonna wash your car because I heard him say he'd wash your car for you.
What the heck? Did I say
Wow,
that?
that's so nice.
Yay.
I can't
remember
believe you do
saying
that.
that.
You're so generous.
Okay.
Thank you. All right.
So I'm gonna go move my car so you can get started.
Not a problem.
Anthony.
Well, in the meantime, I think this may be a good point to take a little brief break while they swap the cars around, maybe a little commercial break, but we won't go far. So please, don't you go far either. Make sure you hit like on this live stream while you're hanging out and, check out what our friends over at our neighboring businesses have to say. And we'll be back to you right after these messages. Welcome to the second half of Q&A Thursday here at the Rag Company YouTube channel. I'm your host, Dane Hennon. To my right, Sydney Bragwin. Welcome, Sydney.
Yes, I'm so excited to be sitting down in a chair.
You don't have to work anymore. You're totally saved. You just have to answer questions now. So you're saved. And behind us, none other than Anthony Fisher. You know him. Maybe you love him, probably, hopefully. And he's going to be working on my car, so I'm very excited about this.
This is BS.
Flex.
Yes. This is BS, Dane.
Well, it's a good
Why am I washing your car? I want to wash mine.
Seems to happen.
He said he would.
I mean, it's a Ford with an EcoBoost engine. It's as close as you're going to get to your own car today. So,
yeah. Okay, I'm jumping straight into it.
Yeah, go for it, buddy. We're just answering questions here. All right. So let me start things off here. I'll go ahead and bring up these questions, which, by the way, if you guys haven't been watching and you weren't familiar, we're mixing up the formats today. It's going to seem a little crazy, a little wild in the background, but the point is we're giving them a show while we're giving them a show.
Yes.
So please hit like on this. We're trying something new, and we hope you enjoy it. All right. Carl F. starting things off with a bang. What's he saying?
It says, let's say we get some micro scratches in our infotainment screen. Can those be polished to remove those scratches like piano black? So, yes, you can. But this is honestly something that, like in my shop, I'm very guarded against, because if you make it worse,
it's easy to screw up.
Right. And then the customer is going to be like, well, you made it worse, so now you need to pay for it. So it can be, you just want to be really careful. You may want to do like a, what do they call those where you have somebody doing something ahead of time? Yeah. So I've had customers come to me and they say, look, I don't care if you screw it up. I was going to replace it anyway. If you want to play with it and see if you can save it. And I've done that before, and there's some that get better. But I still would be really careful. I would be really, really careful. I even have, like, my son has a Subaru Impreza, and I don't know why they put piano black around the shifter. That's like the worst thing ever.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. It's so bad. And so
it's like they know it's going to be a problem.
Yeah,
later.
Because right when you wipe it, it's horrible. And so I was going to polish it and then PPF it. But honestly, I think I might leave that to the guy,
really?
Which we all know him and love him, but I was going to have it PPF'd, and I was going to it's Matt. I was going to let Matt polish it rather than myself, because it's kind of like, I don't want to be the one to screw it up.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah.
Tad Scott just doing the product dealer thing. P.S. Absolute.
Absolutely.
I have to say that even more enthusiastically.
I think what the best was the couple months leading up to it, when we all knew that, and we would just drop that.
Absolutely.
And it's so funny.
Graydon Wolf, what pressure washer do you use, and would you recommend it? Would you recommend the one you use?
Right.
Also, what's your take on the new MJJC Foam Cannon Pro V3?
Yeah. So, me personally, in my shop, I have the Active 2.0. For me, I love it. I did have one start on fire.
Whoa.
And the company was great about replacing it. So I think I've heard.
Good.
Yeah. So I think I've heard that, like, that first batch that they built, and so I got it right away, like right when they came out.
That's wild.
And didn't use it that much. I think it was only like 4 or 5 months in, and it caught on fire. dryer, and they replaced it. They were super great about it. They shipped me out a new one right away, and now I've had that one for about a year and no problems at all.
Was it indoors when it happened? Outdoors?
Yeah, and when I say fire, I mean it started smoking.
Close enough.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
if
you saw like licks of orange coming out of it, then that's
yeah, no,
really
I didn't see any orange, but it was
okay.
definitely black smoke was coming.
Okay.
Yeah, so I shut it
That's
down.
enough.
Yeah. And so, but I really like the Active 2.0, but let's keep it real. Like, I only wash one car a day. So if you're doing a higher volume than that, then you're going to want to go to something like a Rinseless or something. I mean, I don't think the Active is meant to run for hours a day.
It's like a personal pressure washer.
Yeah,
treatment.
yeah, and I love it. I do love the Active. And then the new foam cannon. I have not gotten to try it, but it looks amazing, and I will probably try to get my hands on one because it looks super good.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, great. And then I've got a follow up here. Oh, Dan Pfeiffer. It's never a show without Dan popping in to give us a word up. What's he saying?
Wow, good afternoon and word up from sunny Minnesota, USA. Coming in hot after a wild dentist appointment. I asked for the Dane special and not sure why my thigh is numb.
No.
So great. That's awesome.
Yikes.
And it's great that it's sunny in Minnesota.
I mean, hey, take what you can get. I imagine it's a little snowy over there right now,
Sorry
right?
about the Vikings.
Oh, ooh. Getting spicy with the sports. Here we go. Fine detailing.
Yes.
Throwing in on the super chat. Going towards foaming Gabe.
You're done
Says
for,
you're
Gabe.
done for,
Yeah.
Gabe. Thank you, Fine Detailing, for contributing to what will ultimately be a very worthy goal. I appreciate that. And then Gabe, in a panic, says, what the heck? Why me? Why not Dane or Fisher? Well, first of all,
sounds like they already
Fisher
did
and
it.
I, we volunteered ourselves to be foamed when no one else wanted to do it. We're like, all right, fine, we'll do it. So, we held hands, sang Kumbaya, and then they foamed us.
Yeah.
And we put up with it. They put us against the wall and said, sorry, guys, this is it.
Yeah.
And we were blindfolded.
Yeah.
But
And we know it'll never be me. So.
yeah. So, I mean, just
That's easy.
Just things that happen around here. No big deal. Okay. This is a question for Anthony. Oh,
Yes.
no.
Okay.
Anthony?
So you can't really hear when you're back there. Hey, Anthony, we have a question for you. How do you keep the smell of decomposing people in the garage to a minimum?
So, yeah, that's actually a great question.
It is, yeah.
So, a small ozone machine usually helps. I use a lot of vinegar-based products inside the garage consistently, which I think really throws off the smell. But I mean, really, a little bit of fresh up here and there, just to kind of take the edge off. But I mean, I think by the time people make it into my garage and notice the smell of decomposing people, that's usually one of the last things that they smell.
Oh, before they also...
What?
Right.
What?
Okay. Well, all this consumer advice and more can be found right here at the Rag Company. Glad we could clear that up. And moving on from S-Bin before anything incriminating happens.
Too funny.
Ninja,
All
the
right.
Rag Company. I got a question that needs answering. I just bought a 1-year-old Lexus, and there are swirl marks on the nav screen. Is Polish or Plastic X an option to fix this, or is there a better way?
Oh, man. So kind of back to that. Yeah, so we just talked about that. Man, that is just... so my honest advice, because if it's already like that, it's going to keep doing that even if you get them out. And there's only so many times that you can polish them. So I would honestly... like what I'm going to do, but on my piano black, is I'm going to take it to somebody that does PPF that's trained in that, because basically you need to get the scratches out and then you need to stop it from ever happening again. So that's my advice, is figure out a way to fix it and stop it from happening again.
Oh, dear. And then, okay, that was actually very helpful, so thank you for that. And then, less helpful, Gabe popping in.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Carson Black is the newest member of the team. He deserves to be foamed. I think 5 super chats of $5 each could merit Carson's being the one to be foamed. I think that's a cop-out, and I don't agree with that. Neither does Carson, because I tried to make it a fair fight for Gabe. I put a pretty high goal up there of a $10 minimum super chat, and 20 of them within the 2-hour period of the show.
Yeah.
So I had some very strict parameters. If we don't meet it, Gabe lives to see another day unfoamed.
Yes.
But if it happens before then...
Yeah, 5 for 5. That's not fair.
Yeah,
that's not fair.
He's just trying to get Carson foamed, and I was trying to make it a fair fight.
Yeah.
So, just saying. Carl F. here. Gabe, if Carson gets foamed for $5, does that mean you get a full detail for $10?
Oh, wow.
Ooh, spicy. Okay. And David with the threat, we're still going to foam you, Gabriel.
Yeah, probably. I think maybe at TRCMA would be the best time for that.
Oh, man. Well, Let's see here. All right, next up.
Except it looks like Anthony is about to probably soak Carson here in a second.
Could very well be. He's got to be careful back there.
I didn't know that we could have Carson help us. That wasn't offered to me.
Even Carson was typing and saying this is not good. So he's looking out there. He sees what's happening and he's trying to fix it before it can go bad.
Goodness.
Ninja.
All right. So
you convince Koshemi to release a 1 liter version of Superfoam. Mm-hmm. I'm going to leave that to Anthony.
Yeah.
He can be very persuasive when he wants to be.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense to have you do that.
Yeah,
so,
probably not.
No,
they probably wouldn't take my call.
No, probably not. So that's okay. Everybody just trying out what they can. And all right.
Fair enough.
Let's go to Bill Pearson. He's got something. He mentions
Fair
Sydney by
enough.
name and spells
Yes.
it right. Huge points for that.
Yes, extra
'Cause a lot of people
points
don't.
for that.
What's he saying?
Howdy, fellas, in Sydney from Not on Fire part of SoCal. Hey, Anthony, when was the last time you used an airless sprayer as a pressure washer?
Oh my gosh, that was years ago. It works really well, actually. Like, in all honesty, those little Harbor Freight airless paint sprayers.
The paint guns, yeah.
Have it, sucking from an O&R.
Feed a hose in like a kiddie pool of
Like,
water.
the sound is annoying because it's like it makes that weird kind of sound. But I mean, dude, it puts out a good amount of pressure. It's really easy to use. I mean, yeah, I used it for probably a good year and a half, and then I eventually actually ran paint through it. And then I was like, okay, I don't think I'm going to put
And then
any
you
more
can't
O&R
run
through
it.
it.
And
then
But,
you're done. You can't
I
go
used
back.
it without any issues. It's a great little tool if you want to do it that way.
All right. Well, hey, that counts. And let's see. Nice red TRC sticker. How much? Of course, Hans
Oh
would
my
say
gosh!
that. He's
of
always
course,
trying to
Hans,
get them.
I will make you one. You know what? I actually had that made from John Francie made that for me.
Okay.
So
John is the one who made all of our like well-known stickers.
Yes.
So
John Francie, I went to him and said, not that I'm high maintenance at all, but I have this red Jeep and I just couldn't put the white one on it. It just wasn't right. So I went and I said, I've got the red PNS. Can you make me the rag company in red? And he said, yes. So that so that's been on there since I bought the Jeep, and I think I'm just missing one letter. But yes, I love it. Love the red.
it is a good touch, and it really works on a red car like that. That was the whole point, but love that. Oh, we already did this one.
Yes.
All right, moving along. Sheep Star saying leather care products can't freeze. I imagine most of them would not.
Yeah, they tend to separate. Yeah.
The Neil here.
Yes, I use PNS Defender over my coating it. It is great. Yes, I love Defender. It's just easy to put on. It's just a great spray. I mean, Dave makes good stuff. Nobody can discount that.
And kind of remind people of what you're saying earlier about the whole like soak-in aspect.
Yeah. So Beadmaker was kind of one of the very early spray sealants, and one of the biggest challenges was with Beadmaker, and we see it here and there. People say that it attracts dust. The reason they say that is because it had a curing element to it. So on the bottle it says, wait like 2 to 8 hours for it to cure, and so you would have to not drive the vehicle, and that's really hard to do. And so what we have found through just because I do it every single day, I do wash, clay, seal, and then I would want to top it with Defender, and you can't clay with Defender. So that's where people go, why wouldn't you just use Defender? You cannot clay with Defender. You'll make a mess out of your paint. So I use Beadmaker clay lube, and so then I get the benefits of that warmth and glow that we love from Beadmaker, and then you put Defender over the top of it, and Defender has a unique ability to soak into the products. And so we built it as a coating topper, and it soaks into the coating before the coating is cured. So when I was thinking about that, I was like, well, why wouldn't it soak into Beadmaker? Because Beadmaker's not cured immediately. You couldn't necessarily spray it either on top of itself or on top of another spray sealant, because now they all cure immediately. So Beadmaker takes so long to cure that you can top it with Defender and a couple different benefits. So it's going to soak into the Beadmaker, lock together with it, and now you have the warmth, the glow, the crazy hydrophobics, the super slick, and the durability.
Always love the look of it.
Yeah. But then what's nice is you also have cut that positive charge. So we talked about that earlier, right? So where Beadmaker can attract dust, if you top it with Defender, it has a negative charge. So now you're not going to have the dusting issue. So you get the benefits of both products. I still love Beadmaker. I mean, I use it every single car that comes in. It's still so great. So this just takes it to the next level and extends the the benefits of it.
And before somebody goes screaming, she said it attracts dust. There are a lot of products out there that if you were to use them similarly in a quick detailer or sealant fashion, they will also attract. It's not unique in that aspect. And it's not particularly worse than any other, despite what a lot of people online may want to say. Realistically, if you go back to back, you're going to run into some that are worse than others, but it's not uniquely attracting any more than
And one
most
thing we
others.
learned early on with Beadmaker that was a learning experience for both PNS and the rag company was when it came out, we thought, this will be so fun to match a towel to the product, right? And so we chose the Eagle. What was it, the 500, the orange one? And that's a great towel, except for when you're using it with a positive charged product, because now you have the friction from the towel, the long nap, and you're creating an even more positive charge when you use that with Beadmaker. So it took us a while to figure that out. And so now that we use the FTW with it, I don't get any dusting from Beadmaker. So I don't have an issue with it, but I only use it with FTW.
There is no perfect towel out there for every application, but I would be hard pressed to say any other towel besides the FTW in any position. The FTW really is the one that can do it all.
It really can, and it's the only towel I use for any type of sealant for that reason.
May not be the perfect towel, but it's as close as we've managed to find for
sure
any use. So if you're really for the people who ask, if I need one towel and I don't care about the cost of it, anything, I just want the best of the best. Man, you can't do better than the FTW. You really can't.
No, I love it.
All right, moving along, we have Sheepstar talking about frozen products. Carzilla has disclaimers for shipping in Canada, which, I mean, hey, you're in the frozen north, you're going to be running into that a lot more, so I understand that. Lloyd G, what's he saying?
All right, Anthony, I watched your last video on the Rinseless wash with Hero. You mentioned that Absolute is slicker than Hero. You would think that it would be as slick or slicker, considering that Hero is infused with SiO2.
Yes and no.
Yes
and no. I mean, Hero. I don't think that if Hero has SiO2 content to that extent, I don't think it's going to impact anything. That's designed to clean, not necessarily leave protection behind, and I don't know. I just still, in my opinion, I still think Absolute does feel slicker. I mean, do you agree?
Yeah,
Sid?
I do too. And I think, Hero's my number 2. I think Hero does a great job, but I would agree Absolute is just a little bit slicker. And then there's something about Absolute that's got that like pop, even though there's nothing in it to add. There's no gloss enhancers or anything. But yeah, I think Absolute just has a little edge up on Hero, but Hero's a really great product. So yeah.
Can't argue either way.
Yeah.
Oh no, Anna, throwing off the balance, despite having contributed to the Gabe Foam Fund, says Carson needs to be foamed. Got to initiate the new guy. Anna, I'm feeling conflicted. Carson's a very nice guy. He hasn't done anything to warrant foaming just yet, but I mean, hey, time will tell, right?
Except for Carson didn't help me, so I might move to that.
Oh no, Anthony's
team.
getting help now, whereas you didn't. Well, Anthony would try and argue back problems or something, but I mean, at this point,
I have the same back problems.
You're like, help me. Josh McKay, quick story. My dad has helped me wash my car with O&R before this. So this month he asked me if I had any so he could wash his truck. I gave him a bucket, sprayer, Absolute, UBS, and liquidator. Okay,
that's quite the gift.
That's a nice gift.
Yeah.
And yes, ONR, because N stands for no.
Yeah.
As opposed to an ampersand, the and. But that's okay. All right. That's right, Anna.
Gabe.
Totally agree with you. Okay, Gabe, are you just like controlling Anna's account now? Is that what's happening? Scott Kelly.
Ooh,
with a
look at
super chat.
that.
We clap every time there's a super chat because heck yeah. $10 from Scott Kelly. My first super chat and for a worthy cause. That's right, Scott.
That's awesome.
It is for a worthy cause. We've been waiting years for this to happen. And I'm looking now. We have 7 out of 20. As long as it's $10 or greater, it counts towards the goal of 20. So it has to happen within the 2 hours of the show, though. As soon as the show's over, the chance goes away. So we're almost halfway there. Just saying. But once again, no pressure. Not saying you have to do it. I'm just saying it'd be really fun to phone Gabe and him to not be able to weasel out of it because, frankly, I made a very fair goal. Like, it was not easy by any means. Adam Duckman.
This is a great question.
Yeah.
Best foam cannon, honest opinion. So I'm going to be the worst person to ask this to. But what I will say is that I do like a nice foam cannon. When I'm going to use one, I do like a nice one. So I do like the MTM. This new one that they're talking, what is it, the MJJC? It looks very interesting. I would like to try that one. But what I don't like is the cheap ones.
Yeah,
I'm just not a fan.
There's a lot of cheap ones, and they all tend to be pretty similar.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things, you get the the Temu marketplace, all that, or Temu, however you want to say it. Things like that. You get a lot of different name, but it's more or less the same thing, just churned out. Yeah, and the quality is just enough to get by, and sometimes you can get decent performance for the first few times, and then it just starts to break down.
Yeah, and so with any tool, I always say what's your price per use on that, right? So if you buy the $10 one off Amazon, but you can only use it 4 times, that's not a very good deal.
Yeah.
And so, but if you buy, now I've had one MTM one for probably 3.5 years. So I've used it, 100 times and it's still day one. So
still going.
Yeah. So I always kind of break things down to a price per use. So my honest opinion here is don't buy a cheap one.
We kind of treat our air tool system in a similar fashion when it comes to ultra air stuff. It's it's not the cheapest, but it's also not the most expensive. Yeah. It's a happy medium.
Yep.
But in terms of bang for buck, it's a really, really good deal. And it's a really good balance. Yep. So for people who are concerned about that kind of stuff, I think it fires on all cylinders.
Totally.
All right. So then we got Josh here. What do you say?
He says, then I gave him Beadmaker and the FTWs. I told him to watch Levi's Ultimate Guide to Rinseless, and he came back with my orange FTW black. Oh no.
Oh dear. That's intense.
He must have wiped the wheels or something with it. Whoops.
I mean, hey, maybe he really took it to heart and watched the whole thing. All right. More commentary there. I got a lot of back and forth conversations. Bill Pearson here. Love the format. Dane, by the way, 68 degrees here in Huntington Beach. Well, that's quite warm. That sounds very warm right now.
That's nice.
Man.
My phone is blowing up.
A whole lot of back and forth. Again, people talking about other products, but let's see. Looking for questions. All right. Sheepstar talking about, I believe, Canada in that case. Giant country plus tiny population equals expensive transport costs and duties. Yes, very much so. Let's move along to page 4.
How you doing, Anthony?
I'm doing. Carson's helping me out immensely.
Yeah, I see that.
Why didn't you ask him to help you?
I know. I've taken notes.
Hey, Anthony. I love this when this happens. This is fun. DTNA. Is Anthony still leaving TRC as if you were leaving in the first place? I know he says it like it's like a foregone conclusion or something. Let's get into rant here.
500 likes and I leave TRC.
Oh man. What? I've not heard this one.
No, because it's not a thing, but apparently people want to make it a thing.
I like this still.
Oh, he walked up like he was going to say something, and then he walked away. Oh, well, okay. Now that just makes it more, mysterious and concerning. Look at him. He's just quietly going back to his corner here.
Do you have tar?
Oh, gosh.
I'm not surprised. I thought he was going to say, he goes, I was not considering it until you made me wash your car, and now I'm thinking.
Right. You have tar, and right now I'm kind of like, well, we could take a little bit of Ulex, or we can take some tea to it.
Preferably something that's not going to affect the smell of this room.
Your car also has no protection on the side.
No.
Yeah.
So, this needs to be done.
Yeah. We got plenty of time.
No, I mean, it needs to be polished.
I see.
It needs to be gone through. But yeah, we could probably. I don't know.
I don't mind if you throw a sealant on it after cleaning it up.
The fenders are what's bothering me. Carson, let's grab a little tea.
All right. Well, spill that tea. All right. Speaking of which, you're not leaving, right? Because I left this on the screen for so long. Now people are starting to think you are.
500 likes.
Where are you going to go?
That's right. Yeah. Well, good luck. Joey here. If Anthony leaves, we riot.
Yes.
Oh, man.
What would we do?
Way to make it mysterious.
Yeah.
All right. Neil here. CFA plus in and out in the same parking lot. Yeah. Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out in the same parking lot. Anna, oh my gosh. Another super chat? This is crazy. Crazy. Rounding off my super chat total to $25. Anna, that Super kind. Really appreciate it. By all means, you're set. You're good. Yeah, you're good. We all want to see Gabe foam, though. It's true.
Yes.
That was fun yesterday. Sorry to hear, Dane. I had no idea, as I don't get to watch too often, Demo. No worries. I didn't really mention it at all yesterday. It's just people had seen on like my personal profile talking about how my Monday went, and it wasn't great.
Yeah.
$9.99 from David. Oh my
Nice.
goodness! Gabriel deserves a
the
foam treatment. Man, these guys,
Nice.
they are really stepping up, and I
Yes.
really appreciate that so much. Thank you.
That's awesome.
And Joey here with a big wow, just because this is this is nuts. And oh wow, Joey, I hope the Civic Clear Coat starts flaking more. Woof.
Oh, jeez.
Fine detailing with the shots fired, JB.
I know. I was going to say, what are the shots fired for? JB's a little spicy
It may have
today.
had something to do with your Volkswagen slander again.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Joey, some might argue that your Volkswagen is more reliable than Ford's. I mean, I'm sure you got a warranty easy for your car. Oh no. Okay. Gabe is playing with fire now. This is oh dear.
No.
Drive that little red toy car of yours to Modesta for true wheels off detail, Anthony.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy. Man, everybody's just back deep in their feels.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Joey.
Adomo's Garage, a little late to the party. What did I miss? Well, apparently everybody's fighting in the comments now, but it's actually been a very fun show. We've had the detail
funny.
going
That's
on in
funny.
the background
Yeah.
while Sid and I answer in part 2 of
Yes.
today's Q&A. But thank you again for everybody who's tuned in. And if you haven't already, please hit like. We're doing this for you guys. It's fun, and we want to keep doing it. As long as people watch and as long as people hit like and leave comments below, we can keep this rolling. But I think it's clearly proven that we need to do more of this kind of format.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And how was working on your own car? Was that all right, or was it a bit much? How'd you feel about
It was fine. So
it? You sound like you're not totally fine with it.
I'm just like, this is a lot of work.
Okay.
So to be fair, so I got home at midnight last night from Hayward. So I've been training. I did 3 days of training at PNS this week. Got home at midnight last night, and then I had to do a whole detail before coming in here today at noon. And so that's why I look a little haggard this morning, but it's not the morning, that's this afternoon. So washing my car is great, but to be honest, I normally do it rinseless, right? So the whole foaming and everything, that's a lot of work.
Yeah?
That's a lot of work. But it was fun. No, I love it. I'm glad that it's clean because it's been dirty for several weeks. And then it was a little over a week ago, Jimmy was up at my house and he saw how dirty it was, which was only half the dirt that was there today. And so when he called, he said, you need to leave the Jeep dirty. And I was like, oh no. And then it snowed last weekend and it was a whole thing. So yeah.
All right.
It was a lot of work. But look, your car looks so much better.
No, that is looking way better.
Looks nice.
It's pearl white underneath all that gunk, so it's nice to see. I still got to put a little Ford logo back on my tailgate because I changed out the tailgate color for a black panel off of a different color one because I wanted to have that Stormtrooper look.
Yeah,
so I bought the LED taillights and did everything to kind of make it look a little more clean.
Looks
black
good.
and red is clearly the aesthetic on this.
Yes, it looks good.
Thanks. Brian Rushing, what do y'all think about Detail Project's recent Rinseless series? I have not seen that
I haven't
personally,
seen it, yeah.
so I can't speak to
Right,
that.
yeah.
But I might go check that out after this, and we can report back later. Mike from Texas.
Yes.
What's he saying?
Hey, detailing question. I spilled olive oil on my cloth seat yesterday. How do I get it out? Okay, so this is really important. Don't try to clean it. My best advice, which has totally worked in the past, is you got to take baking soda and go spread it out on your seat and leave it for like 12 hours. So just dry baking soda. Don't add any water because oil and water don't mix, right? So if you put water on it, you're going to spread it throughout that seat. So baking soda, leave it, vacuum it. If you need to repeat it, leave it until it's mostly out. So I had somebody this summer actually contact me because their wife left their like coconut oil, like tanning coconut oil. Same thing, and it spilled in the brand new, like they had bought their car like 4 days before that, all over the cloth seat.
Love
and
that.
and the baking soda totally worked. So you got to get it most of the way out, and then you can start with like an EnviroClean or something that's kind of has a little bit of degreaser in it, but you're going to want to dilute it down.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of work on it. But first and foremost, you got to suck that olive oil out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Fine detailing here. I'll answer your questions, Anthony. Like and subscribe. That's right. Everybody do your part.
Yep.
Tamara Chase, here's a question. Does Ford usually have single-stage paint? How do you tell, not knowing my own paint? Well, I can say for sure that this one does not because it's got a tint coat on it because it's a pearlescent paint.
Yes.
So there's layers to this one. But single stage is like work trucks and stuff more likely to have.
Yeah, not too many. And then that's the other thing to know is that even a lot of the newer cars that are built now is a lot of times they have a tinted clear. It's not really single stage paint, so they have a tinted clear. So
which can be real difficult if you polish and whoopsie, it doesn't look the same anymore.
Yeah. So, but I don't run into single stage too often. Usually they're really old cars. I haven't really run into any newer cars that are single stage paint.
I think Toyota on at least their Tundras up until. Gosh, what was it? Up until the newest generation, they did offer like a really basic white single stage.
Oh, okay.
I think on that that second generation Tundra all the way through, because I think they're on the third generation now. But that second gen one, even up to the facelift ones, I think they had an option where you could get like work trucks, super basic.
Yeah.
But that's one of the only ones I can think of that's like made it into the modern era and still been single stage.
Yeah.
It's just not common.
Yeah. No,
but I'm sure someone out there in the comments could tell us like what they know is the final ones left in the market that have that.
Yes, but I do run into the tinted clear a lot, which is an interesting thing.
Ford did a lot of the tinted clear thing starting in the early 2010s.
Yeah.
And this one is no exception.
Yeah.
All right. So now Neil White looking to say, Dane and Anthony, what glass towel is your favorite? I see TRC has a sale on glass towels, and I'm looking at buying more glass towels. Well, I mean, I know my favorite.
Yeah.
But once again, this is an opportunity to get yourself some FTWs.
Yeah.
I cannot stress enough. If you've never used an FTW before, not just for glass, but that's what it was originally developed for, you can use the FTW for so many things.
Yes.
And you will not be disappointed.
Absolutely. And shameless plug here because somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, go for it.
So 2 days ago on the Rag Company main channel, they released the glass cleaning video in which I show you my technique for doing glass, and the FTW is, I mean, that's where it's at. Like I can't use anything besides the FTW on the glass.
It kind of is the end all be all.
Yeah.
Kind of is.
It's like the one that never fails you. I mean, you know, some of us love the waffles and all that, and those can be fine until you end up with a load of laundry that didn't quite go right.
Sure. And absolutely nothing wrong with waffles. The people love them. And I was one of those people for a long time, but the FTW just won me over in every possible way.
Yeah.
However, I will say for the longest time, I liked the glass towel that a lot of people didn't. Like the herringbone weave ones, the diamond weave ones. Yeah. The really, like the ones that have that sheen and they just have like the kind of corduroy ribs in them. Right. Where they bunched up in their hands. They were really grippy. Yeah. But the trade-off was you knew for sure, like when you're making a pass on that glass, you were getting everything. Yeah. So assuming you did a good pass with a longer pile towel first, and then you followed up with that as your final pass, you could virtually guarantee you left nothing there for sure when you were done. For sure. But FTW, it's a more pleasant experience. I'll grant you that every time.
Yep. Love it.
All right. Kane 2 V1, thank you. Definitely have the pick me hope in these chats. Means a lot. Kane 2, as long as you ask good questions, we will always answer them. And if you ask bad questions, we'll still probably answer them. It's the nature of the show. We want to answer as many of the questions as possible, assuming they're coming from, a good place. All right. Party Auto Pros, local fan favorite here. What's he saying?
Boise question of the year. Will we ever get a real winter? Did we dodge a bullet, or are we about to have the worst February, April of the century? So
I'm so curious.
I have lived here my whole life, and here's kind of always my philosophy, which is not coming true this year. So my philosophy has always been, if we get snow before the first of the year, then we have a pretty mild January, February. Yeah. But if it doesn't snow until January, we are literally screwed until April. We
had snow into May last year.
May 9th. Yeah. I had a boat.
Crazy.
I will never forget that. So I don't know, because here's the deal: is we've had such a warm January. I can't imagine
Everything
getting
feels
worse.
wrong.
Yeah. So, I mean, my whole theory might be totally disproved this year, but it's very weird.
This week is super dry, though.
It's very weird.
It feels like we're building up to something. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it just would be so weird if it happened now, though.
I mean,
it's late into January.
yeah.
It's weird. I haven't checked the weather report.
Time will tell, guys. Time will tell.
Yeah.
Tamara Chase.
Yes. Wow, Sydney, your Jeep looks like a candied apple, really wet and shiny. Yes. It's been you know what? I wouldn't even say it's been well cared for. It's literally been a test bed.
It's a daily driver.
Right.
You're
it is a
doing
daily
all
driver.
the normal
It
things
has
with
65,000 miles on it. I literally drive the wheels off of it. I love it. It does probably get pampered a little bit, but it also is a test bed. And there is coming a point, I think this spring, I might have it wrapped.
Ooh.
I talked to John Francie. I might have it wrapped.
Are you revealing a color? Or are you just thinking about it?
I really miss my Durango, and I had the V5 Blue Durango.
I know then. Yeah.
And so the reason I won't give this Jeep up, which you guys didn't get to see, the interior. The interior is like off the hook. Love the interior. So, but I think I might, because I heard that, somebody came out with the B5 Blue. I don't remember if it was 3M or who.
Okay.
Some wrap company came out with the B5 Blue, and I'm kind of tempted to have it wrapped.
It's like Baja Blast.
Yeah. I'm kind of tempted. So it might not be candy apple red for long.
All right. Well, Travis Aldridge here. Ordered 3 boxes of Rip and Rags XL this week. Had to take advantage of the 20% off deal. I know, right? Love them so far. They work great for applying Defender.
Yes. Love the Rip and Rags. Yes.
I mean, and the XLs are a pearl weave.
Yeah.
So it is. I think people think because it's a towel that comes in a box on a roll, it's going to be like a cheap deal. No, these are premium towels. These are really good quality.
Yeah. And I was part of the team that was screaming for white. Right. And so I love them as the leave behind for customers. So you fold them up. A white towel. I mean, it's just like the hotel,
it's basically a teal towel.
Right.
And, it's what you always want is teal.
I know.
And then you're like, no, but this one needs to be white. And you're like, I can't please her ever. Man.
I know. But I love the white ones. And so they're great. I mean, I love the white ones. They're great. And they're great leave behinds for your customer just because you can do so much with that pearl weave. And it is a premium towel. So I love that.
70-30, baby. 70-30. Alpha Tango 4. Good afternoon, fellow humans. I made an excuse at work to catch the live for a few minutes. Good to see you all.
Perfect.
And Alpha Tango, I want to give you a very particular shout out. Thank you so much for the extremely nice email you sent, and really do appreciate that. So, good looking out, and happy to help, here on the podcast and the Q&A. Glad we can be your friends on the road. Yeah. Because he does a lot of driving.
Yes, very cool.
Nice to hear that. Thank you. David Cervantes.
99 watching and only 36 likes. Shame.
Yeah, guys, we got to pump those numbers
Hit the
up.
like button.
Those are rookie numbers. Brian Rushing. Anyone else take too much pride and joy in their rag collection or have way more towels than they need? I take better care of my car towels than my actual clothes, and I have very expensive underwear.
Totally.
Well, thank you for that oversharing.
Yes.
We appreciate that.
Yes.
But in addition, your towel collection.
Yes.
I think there is a type of person, and they're kind of inclined to be the sort of people who watch this program, so I get it. But I think we're also kind of a bubble here, too.
Yeah, it is funny, though. There's times where I'm like, and even just how much even just how much I spend on them, like how much I spend on them, the way in which I care for them, how I fold them, and then sometimes I'll go to take a shower, and I just pull this, like, heap out of the, and I'm like, something's backwards here.
It's true. You're not alone, Brian. You're in good company here. Yeah. Ninja.
Wow.
What are you asking?
So definitely a theme here today. So any ideas on how to fix swirl marks on a modern infotainment screen on a 2023 Lexus RX 500? So first, I can't really think of like what that's made out of because there's lots of different materials out there. So I'm just not really a fan of trying to fix it. Honestly, I would check with the manufacturer. If it's true glass, you might be able to get away with using like, not a super abrasive polish and a black pad, low speed. But if it has any kind of texture to it, same answer that I had before. I would be real leery of that. So, get it PPF.
All right, and we're a couple pages behind, so I
Okay.
want to make sure we get everybody's today. I've been
Okay.
learning this lately. We've been getting more people near the end,
Yeah.
so we're going to kind of cruise through
Okay,
some of these.
perfect.
But Mike G. So, Anthony, have you used the latest and updated Diamond Body 36? From what I've been told, the hydrophobics have been increased a bit. Based on what I understand, talking to Tyler, when he was here just recently, yes, there's some tweaks. So I think you're on the right path there, Mike.
Cool.
All right. And then Steve also pointing out, my towels are definitely more expensive than the clothes I wear. Yep. Jimmy the Cricket, great question, Chemo, and appreciate the response from the boys. Super informative. Yes, glad we could help on that question about towel blends. Then we got Alpha Tango.
Yep.
Guilty. I buy far more towels than I need. I've given away a lot and still have more than I needed. Clothing isn't an important priority for me. Well,
Yeah.
just the basics sometimes does the trick.
Yeah, if I'm honest, I still spend a lot on clothes too.
It's allowed.
Yeah.
Brian Rushing. Steve Pearson, my family thinks I'm crazy for many reasons, but recently it has to do with rags.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I hear that. Oh, a little comment on your video recently.
Oh, nice. Okay, so also Sydney's glass video made me feel so vindicated. I have always used a microfiber pad, first on dirty glass, and friends have called it pointless. Just use the towel, bro. Vindicated. No, you have to try it. Once you've tried it, it's bonkers. Amazing.
There you go. Done and done. Alpha Tango. There you go.
My wife laughed at me last week when I explained I needed a coating leveling towel. When she asked me why I wanted more, she called me a towel nerd.
Hey,
Yes.
we like towel nerds
Join
around here.
the club. Yes.
Towel nerds
It's a
welcome.
good club. Yep.
Yes, please.
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right, Gil Steve. I'm sorry I haven't been keeping up with your videos, bro. Been super busy with life outside of detailing. I'll get to watching this weekend. That was from Bro
the most
Dizzle
bro name.
Dazzle Detailing.
That's a fun name to
That
say.
is great. That's great.
The back and forth.
Oh, too funny.
All right. I'm starting a GoFundMe for a Viper chair. Brian, good on you. Do your
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Steve Pearson, whoa, I love the retro commercial. Carson actually edited that one, so you can thank him for that.
Nice.
Nice
Carson's
work
got
there.
lots of talents, including helping track the car.
Yeah, you're sitting there like, I still wish he helped
I
me.
didn't have any of this.
I didn't have any help. Super Auto, good afternoon, guys and gals. Happy to have you here, Al. You made it in last
Yes.
minute, but that's
Yep.
still cool. We're glad to have you here at any
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Neil White, Tearsema going to do an 80s throwback? Well, we already did that year with the DeLorean and all
yeah,
that
that was
stuff. Kind
fun.
of
That was
already
fun.
did
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
we're kind of thinking not every year needs to be a theme year. We need to
Right.
focus on giving the show its own identity.
Yeah,
So we've been
yeah.
kind of working on that angle of it.
Yeah.
So
The
you guys
Back
will
to the
have to
Future
wait and
took
see.
a lot for it.
It is so much
It's a
work that you
lot.
guys
Yeah.
don't see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alpha Tango, we all love Anthony.
He's not going
Hear that,
anywhere.
Anthony? We all love you.
He doesn't feel it right now, but
Ninja, dang, a Ford Flex in the wild? I thought they all died.
nope, still going
I
strong.
actually really, really like my Flex. It's a limited and it's an EcoBoost, so it's
Yeah.
the top of the line for what it is. And I lowered it.
This scene out of the freaking the dad. What's that movie?
I love
Daddy's
my Ford
Home.
Flex. It's got room for the whole family.
I got the
It's got
weekender
comfort
package.
for her and get up and go for me.
Yeah, I got the weekender package. It's like, what the heck?
Little bit of scoot in the boot. All
too
right.
funny.
Joey Belinsky. Hi, Sydney. This is what Anthony gets for talking all that doo-doo on our Volkswagens.
Yeah.
Well, trading places.
Yep.
Sheepstar.
SBG, I just received a fender. What should I know before reviewing? Temp range, towel type, cure time, wash chemical cure time in a few days. So here's the great news. It literally is so easy to use. It cures near right away. I mean, within like an hour. It's super easy to apply. It's not going to be real fussy with any temperature, cold, hot. If the panel is super hot, you're going to want to work a little bit quicker. I have a feeling that's not going to be too much of an issue anywhere right now. Towel type, I'm always a fan of the FTW, not to sound like a broken record. FTW, and then, wash chemical cure. If you use the super decon soap or something like that, it might strip it. But it's going to be a really long-term sealant, and it's great. Yeah, awesome. It's going to be super easy. Yep.
All right, Sheepstar. Happy reviewing. Then I got Mike here. Sydney is the GOAT.
Well, thank you, Mike.
Love that. Are we foaming, Carson? We got to
No,
50. Anna?
I don't think so.
That was not the deal that I put in place, Anna. So Carson in my mind is saved for another day. I just specifically wanted to throw Gabe under a very fair, slow-traveling bus.
Somebody needs to take that blower away from him.
I know, right? The noise.
What in
Sorry,
the world?
guys. The Bearded Hunter, afternoon, everyone. We're so
afternoon,
happy to see
yeah.
you, Bearded. Thank you for popping in, even if it is the end of the show here.
He can't hear you because his blower's so loud. Oh, Dan Pfeiffer.
Go
Not a
ahead.
Vikings fan, and we actually have very little snow right now. Perfect.
Okay.
Sounds like you're doing good then.
All right. Well, then he's
For
okay.
somebody from Minnesota. Yep. That's funny. So then Bro Dizzle says, where in Minnesota are you? I work in Duluth, but live in Salon Spring, Wisconsin.
Oh, man. All right. Well, while we get the local chats going on there, David Cervantes coming back to the stream to Anthony talking about decay. Also, where's Mr. Hawtree been? Anthony, get him?
He's in the
I don't think
attic.
those two events are related. And Demo, $20 for Demo. Sorry, Gabe. I get the feeling Demo's not really that sorry, but we're all clapping for it
How
because
far are we away?
super chats, we are 30 minutes behind on there, but I'm on page 2.
Okay.
So we are close.
Okay.
So it's going to be all right. We'll get there. So we're still at 7 out of 20 super chats that we need of $10 or more in order to guarantee that we phone Gabe. If we don't hit that,
Yeah.
Gabe is safe for another day, as I said.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. But once again, I'm not saying you have to do that. Don't want to cut off that comment there. Let's go back.
So I could go on a soapbox about this, but I'll
Ooh.
try to keep it to 1 minute.
No,
okay?
go ahead.
So sample bottles. Oh my gosh, you guys have no idea how expensive these are. Make.
Insane.
People ask for these all the time, but honestly, if you don't already have a bottle filler that will take a sample bottle, bottle fillers can be anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million. I mean, their fill lines are so expensive, and then you change like your whole productivity, what you're doing, and also the packaging costs almost the same amount of money. So sample
Regardless
bottles,
of what size it is.
So sample bottles, and I kind of don't like the sample bottles because you don't really get the full effect. Like I remember going to SEMA and
okay.
picking up, sample bottles from several companies that I won't name, and I never went back and bought them.
It's usually when you get the samples, it's from companies
Yeah.
that sell like one product and they
Right.
make an absolute boatload of it.
Yeah.
Or like maybe a very limited handful of different
Yeah.
kinds of products. And it's just, they can make samples because they're only
Yeah.
making one thing and they're making a ton of it.
Right, yes.
When you have a huge lineup,
Yeah.
even if you are a decently sized
Yeah.
company, it's still a huge financial
Right.
like sidestep to go and make samples. So it is
Totally.
tricky.
Totally.
And for the amount of time it would take to convince somebody with a sample versus
Yeah.
somebody bought a whole thing and they show it to their friends or
Right.
something, in the end, it's just worth it to show it to your friends.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And you don't really get the true experience, to be honest.
Well, and in fairness, it's not too often that you run across a product that's truly like terrible these days.
Right.
Most stuff at least does the bare minimum of what
Yeah.
it says it's
Yeah.
going to do. You hope.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people go in there for reviews
Right.
and stuff, and I'm sure
Yeah.
like Sheepstar and people
Yeah.
could speak to that.
Yeah.
But as far as truly terrible products,
Yeah.
you kind of have to seek them out to find the
Yeah.
bad stuff now.
Yeah.
And usually you can kind of tell if something's going to be bad just based on the
Right.
presentation of
Yeah.
it sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, granted, hey, some interesting stuff can come in some pretty unassuming
Yeah.
packages,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
for the most part, you can tell. But then again,
Yeah.
also don't be fooled by stuff that's like overly marketed and
Right.
it ends up being mediocre. Not to say it's terrible, but just
Yeah.
compared to what you're expecting.
Right. Yeah. So my guess is that TRC cannot convince brands because they know how expensive fill lines are and
Yeah, we're not going
packaging.
to change that for
And
them.
so, yeah.
We can't
Yeah.
change that
It's
for
not
them.
gonna happen.
So, I mean, that's cool that CarPro does that, though.
Yeah.
Shout out them.
Right.
No, that's great for them.
Yeah.
Alpha Tango here. $10. Oh my goodness. $10 is totally worth seeing Gabe get hosed. Justice
Gets
demands
hosed.
it. Wow. That is
Wow.
oof.
All
man.
right. All right.
Man, oh man. O&R would have cleaned that paint sprayer flawless, says Juice Free. Oh man, well, Juice Free. I don't know if that's being sarcastic or
Yeah.
what, but Hans, thanks for helping me on
Yep.
Wednesday, Sydney. But Hirsch, you know why.
Not
Oh,
a
what?
problem, Hans.
What?
And mine showed up today.
Ooh.
So.
Ooh. Alpha Tango, we need 13 more super chats.
Yep.
We've got like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
We need 13 more
Yeah.
super chats or Gabe gets away with his alleged crimes against detailers of perpetuity.
Yeah.
Let's go, people.
Come on.
All right. So, yeah, we don't want him to get immunity here. That wouldn't be very fair, would it? Yeah. There we go. Wiping anything will cause static no matter what
Right.
product, says Hans.
Yep.
I mean, you're at a certain point, you are generating some static.
Yeah.
juice free.
The FTW is a short nap terry.
It's not really a
not
terry,
really a
though.
terry, yeah.
It's different. It's very dense
Yes.
for what it is, but it is a short pile. Yes, very, very
and
short.
it's a twist loop, right? I mean, it's got a
Yeah,
twisted
it's more
loop. Yeah.
more in common with the twist loop than
Right,
anything.
yeah.
However, it's not the way like a liquidator is. It's
Right,
not
yeah.
like that in terms of how it feels or looks
Right,
exactly.
but the fibers are like looped, so they're not.
They're very tightly pressed
yes,
together.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they are essentially, yes, like a
Yeah,
twist loop.
Yeah.
And then Hans here. I never have issues with Beadmaker and Eagle 500 and FTW combo. Well, hey, you know
must
what?
let it cure.
Definitely. That's okay.
You
Gotta
must
let
follow
it
the
cure.
directions, Hans. All right,
Super
Super
Auto.
Auto.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
Sydney, can you use Clean Maker followed with Defender with similar results using Beadmaker? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Done and done. The SiO2 in Hero is really minimal, so I've heard, says Steve. Sure, Anthony could weigh in on that if he were in this room.
He's hiding. He's mad.
hiding now.
He's mad.
He's grumpy in the corner. He's
Oh,
still
we
mic'd
just
up.
got the side eye.
Got the glare.
He's not willing to come forward.
Will PNS come out with a version 2 of Absolute with less chunks?
Well, there's already one out. I mean, not a version 2, but we made it less chunky.
That qualifies as an answer.
I mean, it's been a minute. Dave definitely worked on, and he did not change any of the ingredients in Absolute. He changed the way he put it together. So there's definitely an effect of, at what point you add each raw material. So he changed how it goes together, and it's definitely not chunky anymore.
Okay.
And it holds its blue too, because the first couple rounds of it would bleach to white.
Well,
So it
and that was
wasn't holding
something
the
that
color.
would even happen with O&R back
Yeah,
in the day and
yeah.
stuff like that. You'd see it kind of like turn clear over
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
That's not to say the product loses its ability
Right.
to work. It
Yeah.
just, you give it a shake, as Levi always said, hey, it works again. Wow, crazy. It's almost
Yeah.
like it's still the same product in the
Yeah,
bottle.
yep.
But,
Yeah, and honestly, I miss the chunky version.
Chunky actually did work, despite
I
what
liked
some
it. I
people
liked
think.
rocking the bottle.
It's just the process. The chunky. It's like peanut butter.
Yeah.
Brian Rushing, who has tried Pants Clean Rinseless? I'm new to Rinseless. Have tried 4 now, and it was my star eyes. Okay. So hey, glad you found a Rinseless you like, man. Mm-hmm. Then I've got Anna here. I want to initiate Carson because that's what we do in construction. We initiate new people, and I knew it was because of your background in construction.
Yeah.
There had to be some like hazing rituals or
yep.
something.
Yep.
Brian also asking, so try another Rinseless. So there you go. And people saying, I like the Griot's one. That's Anna. Back at my desk, so she must come back. And then I like it better than DIY and Hero. Detail close was second to clean. All right. White Goodman. Dry Mere River Waffle Weave is the greatest glass towel of all time. Ooh, bold statement. Zero linting even before washing. Every other glass towel leaves little slits of lint on mirrors. It's irritating. Now, White Goodman, I would say, have you tried an FTW?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Because based on this statement, I'm feeling like you haven't. But
Yeah,
I want you to try an FTW, and this sale's a good time to do it.
Yes, because here's my deal. The Dry Mere River, like I said before, if you happen to wash it with the wrong load of laundry, and by that I mean other microfiber towels, but if you accidentally wash your glass towels with your interior towel, the Dry Mere River will still lint. An FTW, I can barely follow the rules. I can barely follow the rules, and I never get any linting.
All right. And everybody's experience is different. I mean, we can't speak for every possible variable. There's always something that happens. But hey, yes, this format is pretty cool, says Hans.
Glad you
I'm glad
like
you
it.
like it.
Glad
it was
you like
fun.
it. Yeah.
You know, had a little workout, but at the same time,
Yeah.
you also got to watch him suffer too. So kind of worked out.
He's still bad back
He's
there.
still grumpy. Still glaring. Fine detailing. Is that flex lowered? Respect. Fine detailing. That's right. I did lower my flex on BC coils, so
Nice.
it has those. It's kind of a rough ride, but it handles well. So there's that. Joey, shout out to Stormtrooper themed vehicles, Dane. That's right, Joey. You like your Marvel and Star Wars, and I know Stormtroopers are definitely a part of that too. Steve Pearson, okay, that flex pops. Nice execution. I think the guys did a great job cleaning it, so
Good
thank
job,
you for
Anthony.
that. Ronnie Yacht saying Toyota Super White is single stage. That may be the white I was talking about, that the Tundra in particular came. But I think the Tundra was just the last model that Super White was available on.
Yeah.
If it's still available out there, I'd be surprised, but maybe somebody knows.
Yeah, and honestly, I've never had a white Tundra in. I've only had a white Tundra in just for like a basic detail, but never for paint correction.
Well, and they have multiple whites on those too. Like there's probably versions that are more of a pearl
like I've
white.
had new ones that are pearl, but I do have one customer with the flat white, and we've never done paint correction because it was just a regular
guess you
detail.
could find out.
Yeah.
Anna here, my work trucks were regular paint, not single stage. I have an F350 Silverado 3500 down in white and various shades of construction yellow. Okay, noted. And then White Goodman asking, Yeti buckets worth it? Question mark. They're very nice. Do they fit in the grit guard bucket dollies? We have fit ours in the dollies, and we've used them consistently that way with zero issues.
Yeah. So
and a grit guard fits inside too.
Yeah. So here's my deal on the Yeti buckets. They do fit in the grit guards. I think they're worth it, but I have never used mine. So Tony actually sent me one as a gift once I think it was for my birthday. He sent me the teal one, and he's upset because I don't use it, and I'm like, why would I use this for washing? But the funny thing is I actually wash with warm water, so I could totally see where it would be worth it for warm water. But I love my Yeti bucket, but I've never used it for washing the car. But I mean, they're great. Yeah,
they're awesome.
Yeah, they're great. But you guys still have cold water. Disappointed.
No, I know.
Gotta work on a heated
Well,
line.
Jose Martinez, right, over at Ultimate Car Details, he sent us out bucket warmers.
So like the sous vide
things?
Yeah, but this is designed for a bucket, and you drop it in, and it's completely submerged.
It looks like a curling iron. You just
it
drop
looks like
it
a
in
curling iron. It heats up the
Is that
entire
safe?
bucket.
Apparently,
like to stay.
it looks a little sus, and then you put it in the
we're
water,
still
and you're
here.
like,
I mean,
Wow.
it's not exactly a toaster in the bathtub experience. So
Yeah.
I guess it's okay.
Okay.
Pretty sweet.
Teal wrap, says Hans Closen. And I
Yes.
realize we're at time, but I'm going to get through these
Yeah.
quickly. I promise, Nick. Please bear with.
Yes.
Ronnie Yacht.
All the teal.
microfibers
Give
to
me
go
all the
with it.
teal stuff.
Yes. Fine detailing would be all over teal
Yes.
towels. And now we're on to page 1. Can I use rags to riches on clothes?
Sure.
Well, there's a lot of polyester clothes out there.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean you can just use it on any really textile fabric.
Yeah, you
use
can
it on.
use it. But it is, you know what? It does still strip your bath towels. So like once in a while, not a bad idea to put it on the soak mode in your washer.
It's meant
and,
to remove
Yeah.
the kind of stuff
Yeah.
that usually finds its way into detailing
Yeah.
towels. However,
yeah.
some of that stuff makes its way into your clothes too. Then fine.
And
Yeah.
I actually use it on my son's football gear. That's some gnarly stuff, and I'll soak it with rags to riches. Heck yeah.
I just do my shoes with it now. So
Yeah,
like when
that's a good idea.
So I just I just take my shoes. The same thing with my wife's shoes because
Yeah.
my wife's been obsessed with buying white shoes lately.
Yeah, me too.
it's quite-
Just throw
It's
them
quite
in.
annoying.
Yeah, look.
And
throw
right,
them in the
but they're
wash,
like full white.
Yeah.
And so I give them a scrub beforehand, and then I throw them in the wash in a little shoe
Okay.
bag.
Yeah.
Wash it with rags to riches. They come out white every single time.
Nice.
Perfect.
Anna
I've
here,
never
that's
thought of that.
exactly
Yeah,
why I want to use it. I have skin conditions, so I already use Free and Clear. So along the lines of a Free and Clear style detergent.
Totally.
Steve, I do not touch infotainment screens.
Yeah.
They aren't getting any cheaper. FYI, the screens on motorcycles are really expensive too. Anthony would definitely know something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't touch those Volvo,
right.
Steve. Don't touch those Volvo entertainment screens.
Right.
Hate to see if those break.
That's
Clean
a
them,
big
but don't
screen.
polish. Yeah.
Steve Pearson, I clean them, but I wouldn't do any polishing on them.
Yeah.
All right, and then I'll go through and make sure there's not any other comments. I want to get there. We're on page 1, so it's okay. We're getting through it.
Kimberly, it's been a while.
Yes, I'm so
Yeah,
happy to see you
hi.
here, Kim. So nice to see you.
Very cool.
Happy to see you in the house.
Greetings
Yeah.
to all of you. Just took a break to check in. Later, Spuds.
Oh.
Love that. Love that, Kim. All right.
Yep.
Anna, I use
Love
dryer
the dryer
balls.
balls.
All right. More GFX. 5 liters of it, says James Martinez. Then we got Sheepstar. Follow up to previous. I use Built Hamber Autofoam at 2% to test chemical resistance. Just want to know minimum time before exposing. So in his question about wanting to review Defender, that was what he was kind of asking about.
Okay.
I think he'll be all right. All right, we got David Cervantes here. Have a great weekend, guys and gal. It was great seeing you in a live, Sydney.
Thank you.
Love that. All right, and then Barney here. What's Barney saying?
Armor Detail ceramic sealant or turtle wax ceramic spray coating if you had to choose one for standalone protection. I'm going to have to go with the Armor Detail.
Okay.
have to go.
Anthony, any opinion?
Well, I'm gonna pick Armor Detail, obviously. But I mean,
I feel like
but
I
with
know
that
the
said,
answer.
I
but-
will say that the Turtle Wax ceramic spray coating is
good.
not bad. I mean,
They're
for
good.
a store-bought product, not bad, man.
No, it's great for what you can find on a shelf for sure. Hey, Team TRC.
Look at
Keith,
who's
you popped in the
here.
last minute, but you are here. It
Keith,
counts. So
yes.
nice to see you.
Nice.
And then Keith, get the pint. Oh, right. There we go. $20 super chat counts for two $10 super chat.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we didn't make it in the
Al, I agree with you for
time
what it's
frame we
worth.
had. But get the pint. You can truly use it to get
Yeah.
the experience.
I was going to say
Agreed.
that too. Like, I consider pints the sample size.
All right. ADS, support small business. Also, the hydrophobics are insane. Very nice. And Kim, I gotta clap for you because you put the super chat out there. Thank you so much. We got close. We got 8 out of 20. Not quite half, but people did want to see Gabe foam. So, we were getting really closer. Nikki Poe, should you use different products, towels, etc., a painted vehicle versus a wrapped vehicle? We can kind of do quicker answers on these, but we can definitely hit these up.
I don't. I still use the same products, honestly. I think that you have to take a little bit extra care. Like if you're using a ceramic sealant, use a little extra care on wrapped. But I have wraps on both my vehicles, and honestly, I don't treat it any different.
Look out for seams and edges, right? I
Yeah.
mean, the stuff you just
Yeah.
don't want it to come
Right.
peeling up.
Yeah.
That's the main problem.
Yeah.
Otherwise, treat it like paint. All right. Then I've got fine detailing. Just confirmed with DJ. No SiO2 in Hero.
I was
FYI.
wondering about that.
Yeah,
I was
when,
wondering
he,
about that.
when he said that, I was like, I don't think,
that's what
man. I don't
wondering
think
too.
there's
I
SiO2.
was like, man, I don't think there's any in there.
But I was kind of like,
yeah.
I was kind of like in the zone. I was like, what am I
Yeah.
thinking?
I was wondering about that too, but all right, Keith, coming in strong with the bucket heaters are the bomb. I first experienced them with Anthony Brown Jr. and had to go back to roughing it with the cold water after that.
Aren't they nice?
Man, I just have like the hot water tap.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Tamara. Oh, Mike. Anthony, what did you use to wash the Flex?
I guess I didn't really talk about that at all.
No.
Right? So I actually did active foam first, and then after
Okay.
active foam, I did
It
shampoo.
smelled
I did
bad,
shampoo
yeah.
plus.
Okay.
I did all the good smellers, and then after shampoo plus, rinsed. Carson knocked out a couple of those tar areas, and then after that, we hit it with SO03 from Kosh Chemi. So now it has some protection on it.
Woohoo!
Nice.
So enjoy.
Finally, some protection. Love
Nice.
that. Tamara Chase, awesome, guys. Then we're getting up to the end here. We are almost there. Hans closing. Till next time, peeps. And how is your back doing, Anthony?
Well,
Always
it's
want to
doing-
Put
check.
this on hour 1.
It's doing more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the last comment to round out our whole afternoon.
Survives another
Gabe
day.
survives another day, unfortunately. Well, Demo, thank you
won't
again
get
for
away
that
forever.
king cake.
Oh,
Awesome.
dude, we're
So
still
awesome.
crushing. Like, there's like a couple pieces left, but that's
Love
been
it.
like our sustenance for the last day.
So good. All right. Well, thank you to everybody who tuned in. We really appreciate it. We're glad that those of you who did watch live enjoyed the experience. And if you're watching this sometime in the future, leave a comment below of maybe a car you'd like to see in here while we detail, while we answer your questions. I think that's a fun combo. Having Sid here was wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
again for
Yeah,
coming
thanks
and
for having
stopping
me.
by.
Yep.
And we promise we won't make you wash your car every time. It's just part of it. And Gabe lives to see another day. So he's happy. He's very happy. But boy, you guys got it close.
Gabe, just remember that.
You got so close. So anyway,
Person, I have no clue why I was the chosen one.
had to be somebody. Thank you so much, and we hope you're subscribed, you hit like, you leave a comment below, helps us in the algorithm, and we will catch you next week here at the Rat Company. See ya.
See it.